Sorry. I can scratch my hand up.
So the only one you gotta control is this one right here, number 1.
That always happens. Can you make that stop happening?
You just gotta be very specific on clicking on the eye.
Okay. So I just have to click on that one?
Yeah, but there's a slight delay on this camera.
I'm Ivory.
See?
What?
But still, like, that's the only one you gotta click.
Okay. I'm a little hurry, so.
Okay.
And then you gotta, like, really make sure you click on just the eye if you don't want that to pop up. Or, man. Okay.
Yes, I laid down for 12 hours and then taken off for 12 hours, but it really hurts. Yeah. My back didn't hurt at all. At least my lower back. It helps as well.
There you go. Now you can just hit 1.
Oh, okay. So just hit 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a slight delay on our camera.
Which camera? Okay. Is your guys' number 1?
Yeah. Are you ready, bro?
Yeah.
It's wait, make sure it's recording too.
Are we gonna get like a picture or something? Or you gonna wait to the end?
I'd say wait to the end. Or I can keep doing it to like read the contents. Those thumbnails.
Ready?
Yep.
What's up, guys? You got Zoe got in.
Bobby!
And today we're gonna discuss situationships versus relationships to see which one is better and why is the dating community in a space that it's in. So the first question I want to know is what do you think a situationship means to you?
What does a situationship mean to me?
Yeah.
I'd say a situationship is like something where I have a roster about like 5 women, and I'm not in a relationship with any of them, but I have like a distinct set of rules and standards to stay on this roster, and I get to fuck them, but we're not in a relationship. That's the only benefit we have to each other. So like the rules that I had in my situationships when I'd have that five woman roster would be 1, you only have sex with me. 2, you gotta get tested if we didn't have sex with each other within 1 to 2 months. And 3, whenever you're about to go back out there to try to actually start dating, you gotta let me know so I can stop messing with you. Those are the 3 rules you have to follow.
Okay. What about you?
What was the question again?
What is a situationship? What does it mean to you?
Okay, a situationship is like when you fuck occasionally. Y'all fuck other people. Maybe talk about it, maybe don't, but that's about it.
Okay. What about you?
For me, it's more like a friendship benefit kind of thing. Like, we can hang out. If we want to fuck, we can fuck.
Okay.
I have a very high sex drive, so, like, that's what I want to do 90% of the time. But I also need friends, so I don't mind going out and hanging out with... I get along better with guys anyway, so I'd rather hang out with guys than girls, because girls get catty, and I would rather just punch them in the face than...
Okay. I mean, based off what, like, the definition and based off, like, what I always believed it out to be, it's like, it seems like it's just a relationship without a title, like what you were saying with the friends benefits, and you were saying, like, the sexual thing. So, like, do you think that a situationship is better than a relationship, or the situation, or a relationship is better than a situationship?
I'd say a relationship's better than a situationship.
Why?
Because situationships are fun and all, because like you get to fuck multiple women at once and they're all just like attached to your dick. So you get that variety like off the table, because you can have like each role in a roster have like specific attributes, like a white girl, black girl, Spanish girl, Asian girl, etc. But with relationships, you get love, and I just feel like you can't really beat that. You get a person that knows you inside and out, someone you can feel vulnerable with, someone that's there to comfort you, and vice versa. You get to make big plans like buying cars together, houses together. You get to think about marriage, kids. Like I'd never have a kid in a situationship. So you get to think about all these different steps you can make in life, and like having sex with multiple people is fun and all, but to a certain extent, it starts to just get boring because you just like your mindset on the opposite gender starts to like deteriorate. So you start thinking, oh yeah, every woman in the goddamn world's a fucking hoe and all of that shit. You tend to lose sight of all the good, genuine people out there you can actually build a life with.
Okay. What about you?
I think it depends on what you're looking for. Because some people don't realize that they're looking for a situationship and end up in a relationship and then cheating. And then some people don't realize they're looking for a relationship and end up in a situationship and get attached. So, to, to your preference.
What about you?
What's the question again?
What do you think is better, relationship or situationship?
Honestly, it depends on the person. If it's someone that, yeah, you're hot and I want to sleep with you, that's fine. But once I start talking to you, if you can't kind of carry a conversation, you don't engage me, then I'd rather just have a situationship. But honestly, right now, what I want a goddamn relationship. Because I want somebody that knows me very well and can kind of read my mood without me having to say anything. And, you know, I mean, I lived with a boyfriend for 10 years, and having someone there constantly kind of, even though he was an asshole, I got used to having somebody there, and I'm not used to that, like being alone again. And I want somebody there that's not a family member. Like, yeah.
Okay, so like, but don't you guys think like situationship and relationship like has like some of the same perks? Because let's just say you're only dealing with like one person, wouldn't you still be able to do the same things that you was mentioning, like car, kids, and things like that? The only difference it seems to be is just a title. There's no title on it. Like, what would be wrong with having a situationship and you guys
Having kids with anarchy is a dumb idea. That's what it is. A situationship is a relationship without rules. So anything without rules is anarchy. I don't want anarchy. I want civilization. I can't build a prosperous empire based off of anarchy where people just are doing whatever the hell they want.
How do you guys feel about that? Like, don't you think it would be better to be in a situation where both you guys know each other, and like she was saying, you have somebody to lean on, and because it's basically just a relationship. It's just no title. You guys can do the same thing.
I would have to agree. Like, you can't commit to a situationship to something that you don't know is going to stick around or not.
What about you?
I feel the same way. Like a situationship, if I want to go fuck the guy next door, I can go fuck the guy next door, and there's no rules against that. Like it's just like when I'm in a relationship, I am committed to that one person. I won't like, yeah, I'll look, but I will not touch. I will not say anything. I will not approach. If somebody tries to approach me, I will shut that shit down in 2 seconds. If I am in a relationship with somebody, if I'm in a situation with somebody, I'll invite it.
But like, okay, so like, what if? Okay, let's just say there's a situationship where there are rules. Do you think that's fair? Like, if you guys been messing with each other for a long time, let's say you guys been just messing around for a year, you guys live together, but it's a situationship, but there are rules. Would the girl be wrong for telling the guy she doesn't want him to mess with any other woman besides herself?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd never be in that position. I don't know. I'm not moving a situationship in my damn house. No fuck. I'd never be in that position. I'd never be in that position, so I can't even give you an answer. Situationships, they can stay 3 days max, but after that, I want you out of my space.
But what if you like her? Like, what if you end up catching feelings for this person?
A situationship's a situationship because there's something about this person I don't like enough to commit to. That's what a situationship, at least from a guy's position, is. I don't know, can't tell you the female's position because I'm not female, but from a guy's position, it's like your laugh's too annoying, or you do this I don't like, or you're too friendly like this, or you like it's always something that's like, yeah, I'm not taking that next step with you because like you do this one thing where I can't be around you 24/7. Nah, nah.
But do you think people okay? Do you think people get into these relationships because like they're afraid of commitment, or because a lot of times you'll hear both genders talk about that sometimes putting a title on things to like mess things up. Like everything is going fine, and then once this title gets attached to it, now you start to have issues.
I think that person is going through the process of finding out that what they're attracted to is not necessarily compatible with them in a dating way. And instead of accepting that, they're coping by saying, if we don't put a title on it, then it changes how I feel about the situation. But in reality, it doesn't really change how you're feeling about the situation. You're just burying it deep down. Like if you're in a situationship that's not technically a relationship and that person cheats on you, you're still going to feel some type of way of that person cheating on you. It's just now that there's not a title, you can lie to yourself and be like, well, technically he's not my boyfriend, so technically he can do what he wants. But at the end of the day, they're still cheating on you. That's the person you spend most of your time with. Y'all are basically in a relationship. So that's why I feel like it's just relationships just have to be better. Because it adds a certain level of accountability and responsibility to the relationship. If you don't hit certain conditions, standards, level, then the relationship concedes and stops.
Okay, do you think it's okay? But if there isn't anything. Do you think the issue more is like the title not being there? Maybe the person's like they think it's something's gonna mess up. So like, let's say for example, like you are with this girl, you've been only messing with her, but you want to date her, but she's just afraid of what could end up happening. Do you think it's like? Do you think since she doesn't want a title to be on, but you guys are basically in a relationship, but without access of the title, do you think it's wrong for you to just stop talking to her as like entirely?
No, I don't think it's wrong at all. There's obviously something between the two of y'all that is not clicking enough for y'all to actually turn it into a relationship. So unless y'all are moving forward with the understanding that this can end at any moment, you're just wasting each other's time. Like with my situations back when I was single, I made it very clear I would never date these women. I'll invite you over. We'll have a good time. I'll make sure you have fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a gentleman. We're gonna fuck at the end, and then after like a couple days, you're gonna go home. But you're gonna leave after having a good time. I'm always a generous host, but at the end of the day, I make it very clear in the beginning, like this is never going to go anywhere because you're just not my type of woman that I ever see myself with. I picture myself with a certain type of woman. If you're not that certain type of woman, I'm gonna be clear with you and just be like, I'm never going to take you serious. Sometimes the truth is harsh too. That's why a lot of my friends say the way I go about dating is kind of fucked up because I hurt some people's feelings with some things I said when they asked me, why can't we just date? But at the end of the day, it just doesn't fit my program.
How do you guys feel about it? Do you think it's wrong to be in a situation for too long, especially if both people have feelings for each other? Do you think it's okay if they don't want to commit to that title?
I do because if someone's caught feelings, it's obvious. Either the person who hasn't should either let them go or continue to try and build a relationship with them. Because at the end of the day, you're just looking them on.
Okay. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I've been led one. Like, they didn't. If you're upfront with me, this is just a friends with benefits kind of situation. I'm okay with that. I will make sure I don't catch feelings. But I've had people where they're like, they don't say that it's a relationship, but they make it seem like it's gonna be a relationship, and then they just ghost me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Um, so I'm very clear, like, it has to have a level of communication. If you make it clear at the beginning, this isn't going to go anywhere, this is just sex and friends, then it could be however long you want it to be. But, and if someone starts to catch feelings, you need to have a discussion about it. Okay, do we want to try this or do we not? Do we need to just go our separate ways at that point if one person wants it, the other one doesn't. But don't lead someone on like that.
But okay, so do you guys believe that a situation is just a form of like disguised manipulation? Because if you guys aren't gonna go anywhere, why even put yourself in a predicament to make someone eventually catch feelings for you? Because you constantly are spending time with this person, like you are bound to catch feelings from this. I think it's very rare that you're having sex with someone and they're leaving immediately after whatever you get out of them is over.
I mean, I think they're two different things. I think there's situationships where both of y'all pretty much know it's not going anywhere, and there's like manipulative relationships. They're two separate things. Someone that's manipulating you, they're convincing you that you're in a relationship, but they're not in a relationship with you. You're in a relationship with them. That's what a manipulation relationship is like. Situationship is kind of like both of y'all know it's already not a relationship. There's no type. That's why it's called a situationship. So I think they're just two completely different things. You can't get manipulated into a situationship. You can get manipulated into a relationship where it's a situationship for them and a relationship for you. But manipulation means someone has to be deluded. Someone has to think it's a relationship.
What so what
Someone's being
access
tricked.
so what access of yourself relationship wise you won't reveal to this person in a situationship?
I don't know. I'm always honest with people. I don't really care if I hurt people.
How do you guys feel like you know that like there's someone when you're dealing with them and it's only friends with benefits, there's certain things you wouldn't show to them, but the person you are in a relationship, you will allow them to have that certain access to you. Like how clear, how honest are you within the realms of this situationship?
Anything going on in my personal life really isn't their business. Um, I have to keep it very casual, straightforward.
Okay. But what about you?
I mean, I make it clear at the beginning. Look, I can't date you, but I do want to fuck you. Like, you're hot. I want to fuck you. But there's no way I could be in a relationship with you.
Okay.
And I make it very clear at the beginning. And I've had guys that they're like, yeah, I'm cool with that. And then they start catching feelings. Like I had one guy, he started getting possessive when I was talking to other guys. And I'm like, I told you at the beginning, we're not in a relationship. I can't date you.
But how would he know that? How would he know that you're talking to other guys?
Because he hacked into my phone.
Oh shit.
And he didn't understand what was wrong with that when I got pissed.
So like to know like what are the rules then? Like what is the rules? Like is it okay if it's only sex after you guys have like is the person just coming over, you guys have sex, they leave and it's like is it just that? Or
I mean, I usually hang out for a while before I would have sex. Like
but wouldn't the person be isn't but I'm saying like wouldn't that be some sort of manipulation? Like if it's anything other than sex and it's other things, you're kind of showing your personality, and this could be things that could make the person start liking you as a person.
No, I think it.
well, I told him at the beginning, I said, we can have sex, we are just friends, I'm not looking for a relationship. I told him that before I even came over, I told him that when we were just started talking. I'm like, look, I'm not looking for a racial relationship. I will have sex with you, and we can be friends and hang out, but it's not a relationship.
Yeah, but things could change. Like someone could end up catching feelings for you, or
and if you want to have that discussion with me, I will have that discussion with you. But you're not just gonna start getting possessive. Like he hacked into my phone and started texting guys I was talking to and telling them I was taking and didn't understand what was wrong with that and why I got pissed off.
So how do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like at a certain level, you both agree to something if you're both being upfront with each other. So it's on their end if they catch your feelings, sadly. And if they know they're not in a position to be in a situationship, then they should be bigger for themselves and step away from that.
So entirely like there's no way a relationship can happen with two individuals that have necessarily catching feelings for each other.
If you're together and you're in a situationship one person catches feelings, the other one catches feelings, y'all talk about it, it can turn into a relationship. But if one person catches feelings and the other one doesn't, you have a discussion, and at that point you decide if you can just stay friends and not have sex anymore, or if you can still have sex, or if you just need to go your separate ways at that point.
I think situationships are destined for failure. Because y'all already building a relationship on things that are conducive to a healthy relationship. And y'all know things about each other that's like toxic and immature. Because when you're in a situationship, you'll sit up there and tell her like, yeah, I fucked this bitch like last week, like it was crazy. You should try doing that move on me. Like there's these certain lines you're going to cross that is just going to be detrimental to your relationship later on.
But I mean, not all guys are entirely that honest. Like there are some guys that will say these things, and like she was saying,
That's like manipulation then, though. Because now they're making a person believe that they're a good partner for a relationship. But in all honesty, they just been doing the fucked up shit. They just didn't let them know.
Okay. So then, if it, but then okay. So then, is it unfair for the person that you begin to be in a relationship with, and they bring up that you allow your body to have access to all these people that you quote unquote don't have feelings with, but you let them have some of the most private things about you, like whether it's your penis or your vagina?
I mean, I feel like that's a low probability situation to occur, but if it did occur, I don't necessarily see a woman getting mad in that scenario because women are attracted to experience. At the end of the day, even if you date a virgin, she still wants you to know how to make her come. So, like, most women don't complain about experience. I don't even know many women that act your body count. Normally, the person that asks that question is the man. And then she just says, how about you? Because the conversation's already started. I don't know many women that are like, oh my God, you gotta have a body count of 2. Like, I never even heard that come from a woman's mouth before. I just think it's because
my ex that I was with
experience
for 10 years never had a girlfriend, was virgin when I met him. That was the worst shit I've ever done.
See? Because he doesn't know what he's doing yet. He gotta have a few failures.
In 10 years, he never made me come.
See?
Okay.
You gotta have a few failures before you perfect your craft, bro.
Well, he wouldn't take suggestion either.
Oh, yeah, that's a dumb.
In 10 years, I can count on one hand how many times he actually tried to eat me out. But he'd come home from work all sweaty and dirty, not even take a shower, and be like, suck it.
Yeah, that nigga's fucked up. That nigga's fucked up. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think it's possible to stay emotionally detached when doing all these things? Because with you two being like women and shit, like how much value do you guys hold sex? Like, do you guys have a lot of situationships that you was a part of, or do you don't think, or you think you can have sex with someone and not give a fuck about them at all?
Oh, I've done it. I've done it. I just had sex last night, but I actually like the guy. But before that, after I got out of my relationship, I was talking to guys. I'm like, let's meet up, let's fuck, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Because I would just, I found out I had freedom again after 10 years. I could get sex as much as I wanted. Yeah. My ex, he'd want it like 2 to 3 times a year. I wanted it 6 times a day, every day.
She said 2 to 3 times a year. That's crazy.
Okay, but like with you having like all this experience and having, I guess your feelings aren't attached to these guys that you're having sex with since the freedom you have. How would you be able to eventually catch feelings for this particular guy if you have too many different experiences to compare it to? Like, what?
I've had good, I've had bad, but like for me, yes, I like sex, but at the same time, the guy that I was with last night, we actually sat there and talked for a while, and we were having deep conversations. We were actually talking about moving in together. Mm. So, like, because he's in a bad situation, I'm in a bad situation, and we can afford the apartment that we're looking at together. So, like, and I've been talking to him for a few months. and we've had deep conversations before we even met. We've met for the first time last night in person.
That's cool.
Okay.
So I've been talking to him for a while, and I do genuinely like him. He genuinely likes me, as far as I can tell, anyway. And we're talking about moving in together. And I told him, I said, we might not want to do a relationship just because we're living together. That can get kind of messy. But if you want to try, I'm willing to try. Just don't get mad at me if it doesn't work out. Like,
But if both of you guys already like each other, like you said, generally like each other, but you don't want, I guess, no title, wouldn't moving in be like something that can end up being messy, like you said? Like, how would you guys be able to stay friends if, like you said, you had sex with him last night and you're quote unquote friends? So it's like you're already moving off a situationship with somebody that you genuinely like. So how would you be able to detach your emotions from somebody you like, but you still want to be their friend?
I mean, it would take me a minute, but I can do it. Like, I have to kind of process myself. And again, it's a conversation. Like,
Do you-
if he wants a relationship, I mean, he's like my perfect Asian man. So,
But what do you want? What do you want? Like, it seems
I
like
want a
you're-
relationship. That's generally what I want. And at first with him, I wasn't looking for a relationship, but the way we talked and we connected, it makes me okay. You could be a good partner for me.
But then
Like,
why would you want to be his friend if you could see yourself being with him?
I mean, I want a friends to lovers kind of thing. Like, we're friends first, and we can get along. We can joke around with each other, but then we can move it on to okay, it's a relationship. We actually love each other, and it gets deeper. Like, I want a relationship. Like, my ideal man is someone who can be my best friend and my lover.
Okay. What do you think as far as if you are having sex with like different men, do you think you are able to like to detach your emotions from these men, especially since you're giving your body to these men?
I don't really do situationships, but it's like good to imagine that I could. But I think if the long end exposing somebody to that much of you, you're bound to catch feelings at some point.
Okay. So like, do you would you advise women to do things like this, or do you think it's something that could be dangerous for them to either hurting themselves or getting manipulated?
I think if they truly like deep down in their heart don't give a fuck, then sure. But at the end of the day, no, not really.
Okay. What about you? Do you think it's would you advise women that are in these situationships to like not have their emotions attached to all these guys that they're messing with?
I mean, I think it's kind of impossible because, like, if you meet a guy that checks off all your boxes and he wants to stay in a situationship, the first person bound to catch the emotions is the woman. Even if you're a woman that provides that man everything that he ever wanted, and you're a man that provides her everything she ever wanted, the woman's bound to catch feelings first because the man still has the biological benefit of being able to get variety. And women don't necessarily search for variety, they search for like the love of their life, Prince Charming. But whenever you see a male's fantasy in the media, it's always multiple women, variety. He's the bachelor, he's the cool guy, bad guy. You know what I'm saying? He smashed this chick, then he went and smashed that chick. It makes him cool. So it's like, I
Well,
really
that's
think
the other
it's
thing.
harder for women to detach their emotions than men.
Like, that's the other thing is like there's a double standard in the media. A man, the more women he can fuck, the cooler he is. Where a woman does that and she's a hoe.
Do you think that's wrong?
Well,
It is wrong.
I feel like women do that to each other just as much as men do it to women. It's just something that's always been frowned upon since the dawn of time because of the way that female humans like evolved. So y'all shame each other in that exact same way just as much as men shame y'all's in that way. But that's just because both genders agree on it being a shameful act. Like most women, when they don't like a girl, the first thing they say is she's a hoe. she's a slut. She lets anybody fuck. Like those are the first insults y'all go to. And it's the same thing for men because that's just the most shameful thing for women, and it's viewed that way by both genders.
But see, I don't like that.
I know, yeah, there's always the anomaly. Like, there's a bunch of people out there that don't think it's fair, men and women. But there's more people that think it's shameful than there are.
Yeah,
people
but,
that don't
I
think
mean,
it's fair.
As far as
And the majority chooses what society follows.
yeah, and I've always gone against the grain. That's just how I am. But at the same time, it's like, who cares if I'm fucking 3 guys?
Yeah.
If I make it clear at the beginning, I don't want a relationship. I just want to fuck you. Why does it matter how many guys I fuck?
I guess, I mean, I really think it comes from a, like, biological evolution. Like, at the dawn of time, women had to attach themselves to one strong man to survive. So I think it's just, like, it's just something that gives everybody the ick that most people, it takes a lot of effort for them to view it the opposite way. Like, it's just the way we was natured, and it's the way we're nurtured once we're raised. Because when we're raised by our parents, we're not raised that, oh, daughter, I want you to go out and fuck 5 dudes. Like, no dad's saying that to their little girl. They're saying, I want you to find that Prince Charming who's going to take great care of you. You can build a family with, build a legacy with. That. That's what the father's saying they want. That's what the mother's saying they want. Like, no parents are out there saying, yeah, daughter, go fuck 1,000 girls. Now, the guy, on the other hand, their mother's telling them to find Mrs. Right, but their father's in there like, yeah, bro, go fuck a bunch of girls. Because their father understands the reality of what you just said earlier. A girl wants a man with experience. They want someone that can actually make them come. And men understand that truth. So the woman's still going to be like to her son, find Mrs. Right. But the man, he's going to be like, if you want to keep Mrs. Right, you got to get that experience. So I think it's a double standard based in reality. It's just something that takes a lot. Like, I'm sure you didn't start off thinking that way. It's something you was, like, you, at some point, you was like, it's not that bad. I'm sure when you was a little girl, you wasn't like, I want to smash 3 guys at the same time. You was thinking about Prince Charming, you know, you watched the Disney movie.
No, I didn't. My mother said you don't need a man, and every Disney movie I watch, she goes, it don't happen like that.
Or it could be, or it can happen that way too. The
Yeah,
anomaly can also be that there is some parents, they're not common. They're not common. I haven't met any like that. But I heard of parents that are like, I don't care, you're a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, you can have your boyfriend over, y'all can have sex in my house. Like, I heard parents like that exist.
Yeah,
My parents wasn't like that, and I don't know any
Yeah.
parents like that, but there are parents out there that are more sexually liberated than other parents. Like, I think we had a girl on one of the prior podcasts that said she would assume that her children would start having sex at the age of 13.
No, she said 14.
14.
What?
So everybody's different. There are parents out there that are very sexually liberated.
But
Well, my thing is, wait till you're 18. Once you're 18, you're a legal adult. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well,
but-
yeah, that's different, though. That's
But,
different.
like,
But I'm sure your mom didn't say she wanted you to have some sex with multiple dudes. There's no way your mom didn't want you to
my mom,
find your husband. Like, I can't believe
Yeah.
that.
my mom, she goes, you don't need a man. Yes, it's nice to have a man, but you don't need one.
But she wanted you to have a husband and kids, and right?
Well, she doesn't want me to have kids, but yes, a husband.
Yeah, so yeah.
would you advise the advice that you're saying, or I guess the freedom that you're saying now? Would you advise this to your daughter? Would you tell your daughter that go
No,
out there and
it's
get
not.
as much as you can?
Like Pokemon, catch them all.
Gotta get them all.
There you go.
If I had a daughter, I would be like, look, don't give it up right away. Make sure that they're good for you. Once you're 18, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I just don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Why? But what?
I missed it right.
But okay. So would you
Honestly, with
would
me,
you commend your daughter if she told you, like, Mom, last night I had 10 guys in the room and I had sex with all of them?
Gang
Would you-
bang by 10 dudes is fucking insane. Okay.
I would be like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, so like, okay, do you think that advice would be wrong, or you think she shouldn't tell you them things, or you think she's wrong for doing it with that many guys?
At the same time, that's fucking insane.
No, you can't. It's impossible to have 10 guys. You're limited in holes. I'm saying, but if she says, like, I had all 10 of them here, I went 3 at a time, so it was 3.
Yeah.
There was 3, another 3 that made 6, another 3 was 9, and then the last guy, it was just me and him in the room alone. What would you say to her?
I'd be
Fuck,
like,
Mom, I fucked 10 dudes. Yeah. Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
why? Like, you didn't even talk to them.
What
You
if-
just
What if she said?
fuck them.
What if she says, "Well, Mom, growing up, you know, you just said I just need to know if they're good guys. I know all these 10 guys. I hang out with them all the time. They're all great men, so I thought they should all get a 10."
And you did say something about I think you said the number you said was 3. So I just timed about 3 and added 1 more. So like, what will be the difference? Was it acceptable for you to mess with 3 guys, or it's not acceptable because she did 3 more plus 1, like 3 times plus 1? Like, is it like a number, or
It's not really. It's not a number. It's like I always start out talking to somebody, like, you know, hey, you know, we're attracted to each other, and then they're like, oh, I want a relationship. Okay, we can try it. Doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. Or if they're like, hey, you know, I like you as a friend, but I can't be in a relationship with you, but you're really hot and I want to fuck you. Depending on how much I'm attracted to them, I'd be like, okay, like, we can do that. Just be upfront with me about it.
so being like a go with the flow type of girl? You think that's like how your daughter should be?
He knows the funniest women.
I don't know. I don't know how fun she want her daughter to be.
I mean, you don't commit to them, but they're a fun time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah,
I
let's go to this spot real quick, come back, fuck, all right, go home, bye-bye, and watch.
I mean, I didn't have. I was a virgin until I was 17. I would at least want my daughter to wait until 17 or 18.
Okay.
I was like 2 weeks away from being 18. when I
No,
was
but I'm
born.
saying like
So, like,
I want my daughter to be like my wife. Just hold on to it until you find Mr. Right. You know, you're gonna know this is the person you want to be with. They're gonna have experience. They're gonna please you right. You don't need experience to other dicks. Their dick's good enough because they know what they're doing. They fucked enough women to know that they want this woman. They went through all the variations. You know, find you a man like your pops. You went through the variations. You tried black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian. Found out which one works for him. Settle down with her. Be like that, and make sure she's a virgin. Like I think there's a lot of like honor and respect in holding on to it. Cause like I think it's so much honor and respect in it because women can get it so easily. So it's like since you can get it so easily, that means you denied all these men until you met the right person. Men can't get sex easily. It's very difficult. Like the men in high school, they gotta be cool. And then after high school, you gotta be cool, financially stable, certain height, certain weight, da 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 da. So for men, it's just so hard to attain women. That's why it's looked at as respectable and cool because women don't understand 70% of men do not get y'all's. 70%. Think of how many people was on the planet. And that's just for America. That's the statistic. 70% of men don't get sex within a year. 70? That means in about 10% of the 30% of men are rich, and then the other 20% they just really know how to like communicate with women, be attractive. Maybe they got 6-pack abs, maybe they got a big dick, maybe they're tall, like they got something that women can't resist. The other 70% that are just average everyday Joes, kind of ugly, don't really work out, they don't see the point in it, but they don't eat too much, so they're not fat. They just got kind of a dad bod. They're kind of funny, but not really. Sometimes they say shit offensive. Like those, they're average height, 5'6", 5'7". Those dudes, they barely talk to anybody. Like I know people right now older than me that are still virgins. I'm about to be 25. They're 2 years older than me, so they're 27. That means they're about to be a 30-year-old virgin. They're to the point in their life that they'll fuck anything short of a prostitute. I've had them say that to me. I'll fuck anything as long as it's not prostitute. I don't even care what they look like. That's how badly they are. And that's about 70% of men. So like that's why it's so respectable in the man world, because that 70% of men that can't get women are looking at the 30% of men that can get women and being like, damn, bro, you're fucking amazing. How are you doing this? I want to be in your position so bad, or just at least one. Just at least one. I don't even want hoes. I just want one girl to just fuck me. That's 70% of men. So they look at that 30% that can get women like, damn, you're amazing. But women don't look at each other that way because about 90% of women can get any man. because 70% of men aren't getting women, so they can just go into a public environment and be like, "Who wants to fuck me?" As long as they're not super disabled or super autistic or mentally challenged or some shit like that, like eating worms and shit, the guy will fuck. And 9 times out of 10, there's a small percentage of men out there that would even fuck that 10% of women that are disabled, autistic, eat worms, weird, crazy, and they're just that desperate. Which I think that's insane. Like, taking advantage of a disabled person is crazy. I understand that disabled people deserve love too, but it's just like, let them date each other. Like, that's not a struggle you as a perfectly healthy human being can get down on. Like let them date each other. Like, no way you should be a healthy man dating someone that has extreme autism. Like, that's just, they don't even understand.
Like if a woman's missing a leg, it would.
I mean, if missing a leg, I'd say that's a minor disability. Now, if she's basically like a potato, no arms, no legs, you're crazy for fucking that. Okay. You're crazy. Like, I get it, they deserve love too, but I think they need to find someone like them. Like what, you gonna carry her on a backpack when y'all's going on walks on? Like, and I know they doing that shit, bro. I know there's a couple out there where girl has no limbs and she gets on the backpack and they go on a hike because she still likes the outdoors. Like, that's just too much. That's too much, bro. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. You're taking advantage. You're taking advantage of that disabled person, yo.
The person one is different, but how do you feel about would you advise your daughter to have like that free spirit to, like, if she want to go mess with this many guys, it's something she should do? Like, do you think that would help her in the long run? Because as much as there's women's with the whole, I think Amber Rose was the one who started the whole slut walk and being able to mess with as much guys you want, or all this sexual stuff. Do you think that stuff works out in the long run, or you think it's something like a phase that women go through? Like, would you tell your daughter she needs to have a whole phase?
I would tell my daughter to be very careful with who she messes with, and very careful of who she allows access to her. Because at the end of the day, I can't say don't have sex. I want to do what they want to do. I mean, like, we all been there.
But how long? But how? Like, do you think it's like an appropriate age you would want her to go, even if it's not 18?
I would say like 16, 17. I would feel more comfortable. But at the end of the day, like, can't use that.
Okay. So, like, back to what you were saying with the whole, I guess, like, do you think it's a situation where it's acceptable because of what you're willing to do, or like, you just wouldn't want your daughter to mimic some of the things you want? Because I know there's a lot of times where people will say they want their kids to do this. Okay.
I have bad habits. I will fully admit that. And, like, the only reason I had sex when I did was because I had a guy that claimed he wanted to be my boyfriend. And then, as soon as he got what he wanted, he ghosted me. And that was the only reason I had sex when I did. And honestly, once I had sex, I'm like, well, this feels good. I want more of it. Where can I go to get more?
Of course, because sex plays on your dopamine center. It's just like a drug. That's why you can be addicted to sex. So after you have sex, it's damn near impossible to stop. It's damn near impossible to stop. It's
that and with, I have past trauma that can make you hypersexual.
That too, yeah.
So, like, I have that playing in my brain as well.
Yeah, they say like
it feels good. It's my dopamine, and plus I have the past trauma that just triggers everything.
Yeah, like they say. I think it's the statistic may have changed since the last time I read it, because I read this shit like almost 7 years ago. But I think back 7 years ago, the statistic was 71% of people that are victims to SA or grape either become SA or grapists, and I think the other 30% they become hypersexual, as in like
promiscuous.
Yeah, very promiscuous individuals. You fall into those two categories. I think there's like I wouldn't want to say 30%, because I think there was also a small percentage in there as well that like get a strange ass perspective where they value sex on a higher level to the point where it's like, yeah, I'm not fucking anybody till I find the right person, or they just will become celibate individuals, or I think it's called asexual, where they can't attach their sex to enjoyment anymore because of how it was done to them.
Traumatic.
But the biggest percentages either become hypersexual or they become victimizers themselves.
Wait. What did you say asexual was?
Isn't asexual when you like
You don't want sex.
you don't want sex? But
You don't attach pleasure to
get,
sex.
you get your intimacy from different areas but sex. Isn't that what asexual?
Yeah.
It's sort of like that.
I wouldn't know for sure. I don't know all the sexuality because
Right.
I don't really get into that. I'm just into
I know some of them.
heterosexualness.
I don't know all of them.
But I think someone told me asexual means that. So that's hearsay. It's based off.
I mean,
someone
There's
else's
like
opinion.
different levels to it. It's just not like a big interest, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just looked it up. It says asexual is often called ace. It's a sexual orientation where a person doesn't feel sexual attraction to others or feel it very rarely. And then another some way to just put it is someone who's asexual might not feel the desire to have sex with people, not looking at others in a sexual way. Now, so it's looking like it's based on like attraction, whether it's date, love, relationship, and things like that. But
Yeah.
how healthy can that be? I mean, like
You could sit
It's
there
not healthy. It
and like
comes from drugs.
masturbate, right?
yeah,
And like for some reason it just feels like a massage. But for some reason with someone that you're attracted to that deeply, it feels even better, if that makes sense.
Well, I think that's normal. Like at the end of the day, after you have sex, beating your meat's not gonna feel as good anymore. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't
and
say
like
that.
for some reason,
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, me personally, when I started having sex, I didn't have issues with women because I already reached my attractiveness. Like I got my hot growth spurts. Like I didn't start having sex till 19, so I already went through all of my phases of getting to the point where I know I can be attractive to the type of woman I want. So I started later in the game. So since that sex was always available to me, like I said, I used to have a roster of 5. So since that sex was always available to me, I never just felt the need to beat my meat unless like I was really having a bad week and all of them were busy. But yeah, I would never say that beating my meat feels better than sex.
Yeah, of course not better. No, of course not better.
Not even
better.
the same as
Not
sex.
better.
It felt worse. And then somehow, like she said, when someone that you're attracted to is beating you off, it feels better than when you're beating yourself off. If they know how to beat a meat, because some of y'all women must be doing some
There's no one that can beat my dick better than me.
I don't know
That doesn't even make any sense.
I'm a
That doesn't
man
make
beating
sense.
my own
That-
dick.
that
It's
doesn't-
already kind of weird. I'm not.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm a man beating my own my own joint. Let me start. Let me start censoring some of these words. I'm a man beating my own joint, so it already feels kind of weird. Like it's not right. I feel like a woman should be doing that.
I guess everybody different, but like, but how dangerous do you guys believe that having this many experiences like towards a relationship? Like, let's say you meet a guy that is on the average size and average in bed, but you're so used to like you have this high on the size of like your best partner or the craziest time you orgasm and things like that. What can you do to make this man feel like a man? Like you have feelings for him, but you're not that sexually attracted to him. Like what? Like how did that relationship like operate? Have you ever been in a situation like that?
I have, and I kind of like just walked away. I didn't know what else to do. So.
Only other option
But
would
you know,
be-
but you don't think there's more to a relationship other than sex? Because I mean, if he's doing everything else, like does sex matter that much? Like how high is sex versus
He was
way you like this guy?
attractive, but like we weren't on the same like intellect level. I couldn't really sit down and have a.
also was other things other than just sex? But was that like the main thing that said, "Nah, I can't. I have to walk away from you"?
Yeah, it was like the last straw.
Like what was it? Because I mean, the studies say, I think they say if you're at least average, which is like 5 or 4 inches, that you're still able to hit the G spot. Is it his size,
You
the
need to
way
know how to
the
hit
way
the G spot, bro. It's not just the fact that you have the possibility to hit it. You got to know what you're doing to hit it as well. It's like when you have a bigger dick, you hit it by default. But when you have a smaller one, you gotta like know how to hit that spot with your limited equipment. So it's like, and most men aren't gonna know how to do that.
But I mean-
it takes being able to take constructive criticism on one of the most vulnerable parts of your body.
So what should a man do if
He has to be able to take that criticism.
if his woman is telling him this, but she wants him to do things that he can't physically do? What is the best advice we will give to him?
He has to take that criticism and figure out a way to fix it.
But what if he can't fix the size? How can he please her if he doesn't have the
Are we
size
talking about
part?
the average man still?
Yeah, the average man.
Well, the average man can hit the G spot, so he just needs to take that criticism. Now, if we're talking about less than average man with a micro penis, that's a completely different type of relationship. He has to find someone that can accept that disability. That's a disability. So you have to find
I'm
someone
sorry,
that
if I
accepts his
can't
disability.
feel it, you're done.
Yeah, but there's people out there that will accept someone with that disability.
But why would you
He
think
just got to find it, or he can make his relationship open on her end and just take what he can get. But he has to find a compromise for that. Either she's going to compromise or he's going to compromise. But the average man, he can hit that G spot, so he just needs to
But if
listen to the advice of his woman.
you say you can't take it, but like,
And there's the click too. The click
Okay.
can make a girl come too if you know how to rub it properly.
so then like what advice would you give? Like what if he's able to clear all these things? He just isn't the best as far as you've had in that sexual department. Like you just gonna leave him even though he's able, like he still loves you and you still like him. So what?
I'm
If
sorry,
you're-
if he has a micro penis and I can't feel it, it's not happening.
It's fucked up. It's not like this guy.
Sex is
He didn't ask God, please give me this. He didn't request that. He was born what he was born with. So would you
Yes.
be saying, okay, since you can't really speak on the other situation, since I'm guessing you already had sex with that guy. If you'd have been liking this guy for like months on end, you're just gonna throw that whole relationship and these feelings you have for him all because of a sexual pleasure?
I mean, here's the thing. If you know how to use it and you can still get me off, we're okay.
No, what if he don't? Like you're not willing to teach him? Are you willing to teach him? Like
I had to teach my ex and he didn't take criticism very well. So I'm sorry. A lot of men, no offense, don't take criticism very well. Even though I'm very nice about my criticism, I'll be like, look, can you try to do this? It feels better for me. They're more focused on their pleasure and they don't care. They don't give a fuck about me. As my ex would say, if God doesn't care about the female orgasm, why should I?
It's because their feelings are getting hurt when you say it. They just can't take it. They just can't take the criticism. They're like, oh my God, like, what you trying to say? I have a small penis? Like, they
Like, no,
So
you
what
need
that-
to learn
so-
how to fucking use it.
So what? Basically, what you got? Both of you guys are saying that's deal breaker.
No, I feel like if their personality is good enough, I feel like.
So the person that will be able to carry him through that.
So you're not going to cheat on this guy that cannot make you come for your whole life. Not in no way he can make you come.
Cause you say you walked away, and I don't think it was just his intelligence. Like, what intellectual conversation did you want to have with him?
Just a basic conversation.
Like what?
Just, I don't know.
Was he one of those? I would think that would let them down.
You're okay with having a whole life where you can only get yourself off. Your whole life. Your whole life. You're never going to have orgasm ever again.
I don't know.
I can't believe that.
I don't know.
That's like if I went my whole life without being able to ever ejaculate. That's
Yeah, but it's a lot easier. They say it's a lot easier for a man to do it, like your ex was saying. If God don't care about the female,
I think that's the main way.
why should he? But
I think that's the main reason why women cheat. That's one of the big reasons why women cheat: money and sex. Like, why do you think you're a rich guy? Why do you think your woman's having sex with a pool guy? Because you're not pleasing her sexually.
He was a bigger
She's
kid.
fucking the mailman, she's fucking the milkman.
Maybe
Every-
he can eat, you know?
No, we're saying he can't make you come in any way.
no, but that's a way out. Like she was saying, if he has a micro, she's willing to deal with him. But what if he's willing to eat you out? Like that's still a deal breaker. Like, do you still need this penetration?
He got to be a special enough guy to take the criticism that his dick's not enough and they got to eat her out.
No, what if she's okay?
Trying to
with-
get a man
do
to
whatever
eat me
you-
out is like trying to pull fucking teeth, okay?
Most men won't do it.
Wait, okay.
But yet they expect me to suck their dick.
But I mean, I don't know, cause I won't say I'm racist when it comes to down there, but depending on how it looks, even though the girl didn't ask for this, the way it looks a certain way. I know there are some guys that if it looks a certain way, they don't want to do it, whether it's lasagna, they say it just looks funny, the color, it's not pink, it's too black, it's too purple. Like there are guys that say these kind of things, because I know there's certain guys they don't want certain shit that looks like whether it's a salami or something.
I mean,
There's
it goes
different
both
things.
ways, though. Like, I feel like females are very judgmental for what penises look like.
Would you be able to look past it? Like, what is stuff like? I don't know how to ask questions.
These niggas are
What if, like, is there certain
looks
preferences
dirty,
you have like
if
that?
it looks dirty or uncleanly or
Cause I always
confused
confuse it too. I always confuse it too with what's that? It's like they say I don't have the one that looks like a worm, but what is that called? Like uncircumcised? Like what is it? What is the difference? I don't know the
Oh.
name. The turtle or something?
Yeah, uncircumcised versus uncircumcised.
What is the big issue with like the two? I've heard you have to like clean it. I know my
You
mom,
do,
or my stepmom, they have to like clean it. Like what is that? Like what?
So
I never like.
Because it's the foreskin comes over the head, and like cum, sweat, dirt will collect in there, and you have to physically clean it out. It's called smegma.
The main
Is
difference.
that like a deal breaker? Like, would you guys not mess with somebody like that?
I have messed with somebody like that, but they kept it clean.
yeah, there's a way to like keep it clean and keep that down.
Because the foreskin, you can actually pull it back and wash everything in there.
Oh,
See, the scientific difference in that area is basically this. So vagina is an inverted penis. That's why trans
Yeah.
people can be what they are. So at the end of the day, when you have foreskin, it's the same as a girl with her vagina. If you don't clean it properly, men can get yeast infections constantly. The only reason why yeast infections are uncommon amongst men is because they get circumcised. But a man with foreskin can get yeast infections and UTIs just as much as women. So you gotta be able to clean your shit down there on a consistent basis, or y'all just gonna be passing yeast infections and UTI back and forth from each other. When you're circumcised, the real only way you can give your girl a yeast infection or a UTI on a consistent basis is if you're constantly ejaculating inside of her. Because you're not giving her vagina enough time. Like if y'all are having consistent sex and he's consistently creep-pieing you, you're not giving her vagina enough time to clean it.
that or you just don't properly wash yourself.
Yeah, but it's very hard for a man that's circumcised not to properly wash their penis.
Yeah.
That's why
I mean, I don't know. I've always heard like women say that kind of stuff. Maybe it took like when my stepmom had my little brother. Like I didn't even know how that kind of stuff happened. Like I heard like I guess you do that kind of stuff when you're like a baby. So like before that stuff said, we both.
Yeah, because like I wasn't circumcised until I was 14.
They say it's more painful. We don't do it at.
It is. It's painful as shit. Because your dick grows after you lose your foreskin too, so it's a very uncomfortable, painful process. But I didn't get circumcised till I was 14 because when I was a kid in California, medical insurance companies wouldn't cover you getting your penis circumcised. So I didn't get circumcised.
That's it's illegal in certain states.
Yeah. So I didn't get circumcised till I was 14. Yeah, cleaning that shit. The reason most men don't clean their foreskin properly is because it's very uncomfortable. When you pull your foreskin back from your head, it's so fucking sensitive. It feels like a girl's clitoris or
So you can like come while cleaning it?
Nah, it hurts. It's like, so if you put too much pressure on a girl's clitoris, it hurts them. And when you're cleaning your penis and you pull back your foreskin, you gotta really scrub that shit, so it hurts. It feels like the equivalent for a woman can put imagine it. It's like if someone tapped your clitoris with enough pressure to hurt you. You gotta do that to your head.
Oh, my
You're
ex
gonna get it.
kicked me in my clit and it hurt.
Exactly. It feels like that.
Yeah,
It feels like if you're getting punched in your balls while you're cleaning yourself. So it's like, it's really uncomfortable. So I understand why a lot of men don't clean it properly and why a lot of women are cautious about dating these men because they're not cleaning it properly because it's genuinely uncomfortable. It's genuinely uncomfortable.
See, the one guy I was with that wasn't circumcised, he was a clean freak. Like, he bathed like at least twice a day every day.
Yeah. But you have to do it via foreskin.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think women bathe like twice a day.
I don't know. That's kind of wild. I'm glad my mom.
Also, certain soaps, and it's just like having a vagina, bro. Certain soaps you can't use. Like, it's really
that kind of stuff is different. But I mean, okay, so like, since you guys, I'm guessing you guys hold sex in like a high regard. So like, when you first start talking to a guy, and this guy wants to have sex, why is it always an issue if women claim that sex is not important? They seem like only guys care about that, but it seems like you guys internally care about that because the guy, his shit is too small, he can't eat properly, or he just don't make you feel like whatever your best sexual partner is. Why are women so against having sex either on the first date or the first time they meet a man if sex is high?
I mean,
because sex isn't everything. Like you have to know somebody more than just sexually. There's bigger factors in that.
I'm kind of the same way. Like, I want to talk to you first. I want to have a conversation and see if we click as far as intellectually on other levels, what we have in common, if we can get along before I go have sex.
Why?
Because otherwise, it may as well just be a friends with benefits.
No, what I mean, like you don't think a healthy relationship could work by having sex with the person on the first link?
No, you
No.
can't have sex with
Because then it
anybody
becomes more
because-
about sex than the relationship.
and you can't just allow anybody into your body. That's weird.
But I mean, if this is like something that's common that most people do know, then why does situationships happen? Because for the most part, for friends and benefit stuff to happen, like you have to like open up your body to this person and always, I don't know. I at least believe in my experience. I know after I have sex with someone, that can let me know how long is this person gonna be in my life. Because for the most part, before a man even get to speak to you, his main thing might just be having sex with you or just having sexual thoughts after seeing you. I don't think for the most part a man is caring about your personality or what kind of intellectual conversation he can have with you. So if this guy is thinking about that, do you think it's a problem if you just give in to him, or you're gonna think like, all right, I let him have sex with me, he won, I lost? What is the like issue with just giving a man what he wanted, and after that you can see if he actually sees value in you or likes you?
Because in my experience, a lot of times, a lot of men, once they get what they want, they lose interest. They move on. They don't want you anymore.
Do you think that's more on him just not really liking you, or he finally had that personal clarity? He's like, I don't like this bitch, or I'm not attracted to this girl. Like, I got what I want. This girl is useless. Because I know a lot of times women feel like I don't want to give it up because they got the whole 90 days, girl, make him wait, and all these different terms, and like women like to use. And then just imagine you did all this waiting, you had the intellectual conversation with him, y'all connected on a deeper level, he had sex with you, and he still leaves. Then what?
Well, then he's fucking useless. I'm sorry, if you can have an intellectual conversation and y'all got things in common, by the time you do have sex, why the fuck would you leave at that point?
But what if that's game? A lot of guys just want to have any guy that walks up to you and be like, yeah, I don't know, it just like looking at you, your vibe. I just felt like you had a good personality, so I just came up to talk to you. Like all that kind of stuff is game. Like after you have sex, don't you think by then you're supposed to do something to at least want to keep this guy around? Because I mean, you just gave the most valuable possession. Like after the sex, like he already knows the inside and out of you. The only thing left is inside of your brain, your intelligence.
If he already left, then what's the point of trying to keep him around?
Yeah.
But what if you liked him? Like if he played the game enough for you to like him, or he put on this persona or this character for you to like him, and you generally like him, but he has sex with you and he doesn't like you, do you think that's more than him just being a fucked up guy, or just him just not liking who you are after he found out who you are?
I think it's him being fucked up. He just wants to have sex just to have sex, and if he has to play the game, as you say, to get you to, fall for it and let him have sex with you, I feel like there's a lot of guys that are like that. I'm not saying all guys are like that, but there are guys like that where they just want to have sex just to have sex. They don't give a fuck about the girl. They don't give a fuck about the personality. They don't care at all. They just want to get laid.
You don't. What about you?
I feel as though. Wait, what was the question?
Like after the guy had sex with the girl, right? He got what he wanted. Do you think it's like a woman's responsibility to try to get what she wants out of this man?
No, I feel like that's just something you should let go.
Okay. What about you?
I mean, moving all the way back throughout the questions, I would say a man that does that whole pretending shit to get a woman. He's lame as fuck. He's lame. All he wants is sex. He's lame. And I don't think men approach women just to have sex. Like when I approach a woman to like I want to get to know her first before I just have sex with her. Like I already said in the past that like if a girl gives me sex on the first night, she already fell into the category of me never dating her. Because I don't believe that I'm special enough that you haven't done this with her. So at the end of the day, I think a girl should make you wait. I think that shows a lot of respect and character on her end, no matter how much you love bomb her into believing that starting off with sex is going to lead to a successful relationship. Most relationships start that way, and most relationships don't work out. That's just statistics. So just based off of that alone, saying that having sex first on the first link and turn it into a relationship is successful, that's incorrect. A lot of relationships that stay together, high school sweetheart, college sweethearts, stuff like that. People who met each other, stuck with each other, made people wait, and had sex. That's most of the relationships that are successful are that way. And I would say a guy that plays the game to get what he wants and then leaves a girl is fucked up because at the end of the day, if you spend all that time getting to know her and then you leave her just because the sex ain't up to your satisfaction, then I just think you're a lame dude. If you was genuinely attracted to her, she's genuinely attracted to you, you can teach her to please her and please you in the ways you want to be pleased. Maybe she was with a different guy and he liked being pleased this way. Just tell her you don't like that, you like this. Like I've been with women that really like back shots. I don't like back shots. I don't feel nothing in the back shot position. I don't know why men like that position so much, but I do not feel nothing. Like I don't know if it's because
That's one of the craziest
I
positions.
don't know if it's because like I don't have that weird curve in my dick or whatever, but that position does nothing.
Captain Hook.
That position, I just feel like something's poking my dick constantly. I can't get off. So, but I know a lot of women like that position, so I could see them do that position. But at the end of the day, she still needs to get me off too. So she's going to have to switch to a position I like. Like I like riding.
But no, but I'm not talking about he finds out the sex isn't good. I'm saying what if he finds out
leaving.
I'm saying what if he finds out he just don't like this girl after he had sex with
her?
her?
But isn't this the guy that's waiting? Or are we talking about the guy that gets on first sleep?
No, I'm talking about like I'm saying like let's say he gets on the first thing or he waited and he got it.
So
and then he just don't like. What if he just really just don't like you? Like he tried to give you a chance. He fell through with the whole I'm gonna wait 90 days. I'm gonna take you on all these dates, and he still ended up not liking you. Do you think that's more? He's just weird, or is just the girl? She's not as good as she thought she was.
If he waited 3 months, it's because of the sex. Because you can learn everything you need to know on whether you like an individual in 3 months. That's why the 90-day rule exists. Now, if he gets a first link and he's not trying to fuck with you, that just means he wanted sex.
Okay.
Because he didn't even put in effort to get to know you first. So he's not even giving you the opportunity to be like, yeah, we can have more than just sex. He just wanted the sex from you. He got what he wanted and he left. But a person that waits 90 days and then leaves, they're fucked up because in reality, no matter how much they try to convince you that they got to know you and they didn't like you, in reality, they just wanted sex just like the other guy. They just didn't know how to get it right away from you like the other guy did. Their game's a little bit weaker than the other guy. That's all it is.
What do you guys think the proper amount of time is to wait? Because the 90-day thing, I'm not saying people don't do it, but what determines, okay, we can have sex? Like, is it a time frame you go in, or does it solely depend on how attracted you are, or how much did he prove himself that he doesn't only want this?
For me, there's not really a time frame. It depends on the person and the personality.
So what's the fastest you ever gave it up?
First night.
Okay.
I have to say at least 6 months, not longer.
Okay.
But see, when I gave it up the first night, though, I was very naive at that point.
How?
I was a lot younger.
What age were you?
I was like 19, 20.
Okay.
And I didn't, like...
Was you naive, or you actually wanted to have sex with this person?
I mean, I wanted to have sex with him, but I was also naive, where I'm like, oh, if I give him sex, maybe he'll stay. So, and I learned my lesson.
Naive.
That's very naive. What you
That's
mean?
naive.
It is very naive.
Most
But at the
guys are
same
not going to say what are you talking about. Most guys are just going to kill what they want to leave.
I know, but I was very naive
ever.
at that point because in high school I didn't have guys hitting on me.
Oh, wait, so okay, so like after I guess after you gave after that 24-hour thing or whatever how long you knew this guy, he just evacuated like immediately or like what was the time frame? Like did you guys continue talking to him?
Evacuate.
Was you still talking to this guy?
I tried to talk to him, he just wouldn't answer me.
So he just goes. So what about you with the person that you I guess waited 6 months for? How long did that relationship last?
It lasted about 2 years.
Okay. And what was the ending of this relationship? Why did it end?
Not being able to communicate, it turned into us just not understanding each other, and everything just became an argument.
Did you try to understand him, or was like a both sides saying both of you guys didn't understand each other?
I felt as though I was trying to understand him, but he said I still just didn't understand him, and him the same. So,
What was the claim that? Like, what didn't you understand that he was claiming you didn't understand?
I would say like the shared housework, if that makes sense.
Sharing a housework.
Yeah, like no shared housework.
Oh,
Work around the house.
oh, like he didn't want to do certain chores.
Yeah, and I would feel as though I was doing more of it, and
But what chores was it exactly? What, like washing dishes, washing clothes?
washing dishes, clothes, folding and putting them away, picking up toys, etc.
So if he split it, would it work like one washes clothes, one folds clothes, one cooks, one cleans the dishes, one vacuums, one sweeps? Like I know there's certain like chores I'd never do.
Like
So I understand men out there that do that.
what chores would you never do?
I don't like doing dishes. Any chore but doing dishes, but I'll still do any chore but doing dishes. Like if you say, okay, you gotta clean the room if I do the dishes, I'll clean the room, or you gotta clean the bathroom if I do dishes, I'll clean. the bathroom.
So
You
if
gotta
your
do
woman,
laundry if I do dishes, I'll do laundry. I just really don't like.
so if
doing
your woman
dishes.
wants you to do dishes, you're gonna tell her fuck no.
I'm not gonna say fuck no. I'm just gonna explain to her that I don't like doing dishes and I'll do any other chore she doesn't like doing.
Do you guys think that's fair?
Yes, that's totally fair. Like if I cook, I want my partner to clean. Why do I have to cook and clean?
What if you feel like that's just your job as a woman? Like he wants you to do that.
Okay, my father was like that, and I told him, "Fuck no, you can go make your own goddamn sandwich."
I ain't gonna lie, I don't cook or do the dishes, but I'll do laundry. I'll clean the bathroom. She tell me to clean the bathroom. I'll vacuum. I'll clean our room if she wants me to. Most of the time, my girl just don't want me to touch anything because she likes to clean her bed. But
See, I'm not picky like that.
but I'll do those things. Like I did laundry this week, but I just won't clean dishes. And the reason I won't cook is because I enjoy the sensation that men get when they have their woman bring them a plate of food. I enjoy that sensation. So I don't like cooking for that reason. I have cooked for my girl in the past. Like, don't get it wrong, I cooked for both of us before, but like if it boiled down to me being able to choose, I'm gonna choose her cooking for me every time.
So what do you think? Like, was it only just him not like I guess cleaning something? Like was that like the main thing?
It was that, and I just felt like he wasn't listening to me, and everything just kind of felt like off my shoulders, and it just became overwhelming. I mean, he worked and took care of the bills, but it was like
that just wasn't
basically
enough for
all.
you?
And like I wouldn't say he didn't straighten up at all. He did what he could, but it just was never enough. I guess. I know, like that sounds terrible, but like seriously, like I felt like
So if he
if we did a project, I was doing most of the work, and he chipped in at the very end, answered the last few questions, and that's what got us right.
Is it because he said no to doing the chores more than he said yes?
No, sometimes he says he'll do it, and then it will be like days goes on, and then
See, that's
not
different.
done.
yeah,
That's a lack of
See-
commitment. You can't say you're going to do something.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well,
That's
like,
just fucking lazy.
okay, I have issues with stairs.
I hate
And
when people-
With
when-
what?
with stairs.
Stairs, okay.
I lived at this place for 9 years, and I fell down the steps 13 different times, all in different footwear, with nothing in my hands.
Why are you tripping downstairs?
I just
Are you like
sure
this
don't get all-
clumsy?
Yeah, I'm clumsy.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't want to go down like 3 flights of stairs with a giant thing of laundry in my hands because I trip when there's nothing in my hands. So I would ask my ex, I'm like, hey, can you take this downstairs? Yeah, I'll do it in the morning before I go to work. Next day, I get up, it's still fucking there. So I get to the point where I have no fucking clothes because all my clothes are dirty and he won't take them the fuck downstairs for me. And it's like,
Oh, you have like a phobia of that, like stairs?
I don't have a phobia upstairs, but me, a giant thing of laundry that's heavy,
Yeah.
I'm more likely to fall than when I don't have anything in my hands.
Oh, okay.
And I fall when I don't have anything in my hands. Like, I fell outside today. Like,
I think that's the thing for most women, though. It's not the fact that men don't do it enough. It'll be the fact that when they say they will do it, they won't do it. I think that's the real, like, kicker. Like, I don't, like I said, my girl does most of it because she just prefers to do it her way. But when she asks me to do it, I get it done when she says to do it. Like she said, can you take the trash out? I'm not going to wait days to take the trash out. I'm going to go take the trash out. Instead, there's men out there that would say yes and then just end up never doing it or doing it late. And then that's where the issue really comes from, I believe.
oh, it would get to a point for me where it's like, I may as well just fucking do it myself. Why do I even fucking have, like, why the fuck do I ask you now?
Exactly.
And then he would make an entire mess out of the entire fucking room. Yes, some of it was fine.
Yeah.
But he'd expect me to clean all of it by myself. And I'm like, he's like, well, I work, 40 hour, 80 hour work weeks. Yeah, and I work and I go to fucking college and I have homework to do. What the fuck is the difference? Yeah, I may not make as much money as you, but that doesn't matter. You need to help contribute.
But I do believe if a man provides everything to you to the point where you're able to stay home 24/7, then your job's taking care of the house. That's your profession.
I understand.
I do believe that because that does become your profession. It's like,
If
I'm
a
taking
man
care of
works-
everything. Only thing you need to do, cook, clean, and take care of the kids. That's your job. I think that's what it boils down to. That's your job. Now, you deserve days off too, though.
Do you
deserve
think
days off too? It's not a job you do 7 days a week. Give her some day off. Like, well, at least like, okay, these are my days off. Saturday, Sunday, I'll take care of the kids and do everything. You go relax. You got to give her a day off because every job in the world gives people days off. Vacation, take her on vacation once or twice a year, give her days off type thing.
Yeah, like if he made enough money and I wasn't working, yes, I would have no issue cleaning the house and everything. But I was working and I was going to college. Between my part-time job and my college, I was pretty much working full-time. Just one of them I didn't get paid. I got paid in education.
Yep.
So yes, you take care of most of the bills. I help with the bills that I can. And I took care of my own bills. I paid my car payment, I paid my car insurance, and I paid for some of the groceries when I could. Yes, you make more money than me, but that doesn't mean you can't help out. Because I'm working, I'm paying my own bills that you don't have to pay, and I'm going to school so that I can get a better paying job so I can help you out more with the bills.
what if a man says he only wants to do that? Would that be a deal breaker for you guys not to want to mess with him?
I don't want to be a housewife.
If I was completely taken care of, then yes. I mean, no, it wouldn't be a deal breaker.
So what? But if he was paying, but it's okay. So if your man was paying he was paying the bills, but you still wanted him to do more because you said something wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Well, like if he was paying, but wasn't that the same thing? So wait, that was a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker because he's not fully providing.
Oh, so like, what was he doing? Like 70%, 80%?
I would say all of his money would be going to bills that sometimes we would forget to buy groceries for like 1 week.
Oh, he would buy groceries sometimes.
No, sometimes we would forget to buy groceries
Forget?
1 week, and the money would be going fully to the bills, and so we would be missing some things that me and my kids would normally eat. And so it would have to wait until the next week, or we would have to.
Yeah, he's not a full provider. Then he's not a full provider.
That's crazy. I don't know how the fuck you forget to eat. Like, I gotta eat. The house gotta eat something.
You starving them motherfuckers.
Like, was the bills expensive, or was it a situation where he generally forgot that I need food too, or he just couldn't afford it?
I wouldn't say he genuinely forgot that we needed food. I wouldn't say we didn't have any food. It's just we didn't have what we would genuinely eat.
Oh, okay.
It's like the difference between having like home cooked meals and for like a couple weeks you gotta eat ramen now because you just spent too much money on bills. So now you gotta eat cheaper shit that ain't really delicious. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I eat ramen all the time.
I fucking hate ramen.
I live off
Fucking
of
hate
ramen.
ramen. I ate it too much growing up as a kid. I hate
Yeah,
that shit.
I don't like it. I don't like that spongy like you do. But hot sauce is still it's still good. It's still good. The chicken, the beef.
I haven't
still
used hot sauce in years too. I think I'm corrupted.
it's still can hit. Okay. So like, it seems like most people don't really that you guys are more like this relationship side. So like, when you first are talking to a guy, like, what are the conversations that you're having with this guy? Like, do you have like a plan, a goal? Are you asking this guy where do you see this relationship? And while having these conversations, are you guys talking about the future and what standard you both plan to hold each other? Like, what kind of conversations are you guys having when you first start talking to someone?
When I first start talking to someone, I try to find stuff in common. Like, oh, like I'm really into anime. Is there any anime you like? Oh, I like that one too. Like, I try to find things in common with them that we can kind of bond over. And then if I decide that yes, I want to get serious with him, I'll be like, oh well, what are your plans for the future? You know, what do you see? Like, what are your goals in life? Like, like I'm in college. I want to be. My goal eventually is to have my own photography company. Granted, I'm gonna have to work somewhere else first to get to that point, but that's my ultimate goal. And I like someone. I'm very goal oriented, and I like someone that's very goal oriented as well. And when I'm in a relationship with someone, I will support you on your dreams and your goals. I just expect you to do the same for my dreams and my goals. My ex, he would tell me that my goals are fucking stupid.
Did you ever ask him to elaborate? Or no?
They're just fucking stupid. Oh, it's unrealistic. That's fucking stupid.
You know, wrong with being a photographer.
Yeah, they never will take pictures. What about you? What are some of the conversations that you having with the person that you're starting to talk to?
I like to talk about boundaries, like on both ends, like what we're okay with, what we're not okay with.
What's some boundaries that you have, like one or two, if you don't mind sharing?
I'll say contact. I don't really like random people touching me. If that makes sense. Or like just being touched a lot.
Oh, okay.
Like if a
See, I'm
stranger
the
came up,
opposite.
Hug 'em.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's a, like we
I
know
have
each
to
other.
know.
Yeah.
But like,
Female
I'm very.
friend,
But what if he's a touchy guy? Like, he has to touch you during conversation. Like, there's some.
Oh,
guys
I'm very touchy.
Yeah,
I'm
itchy.
very affectionate. I like to be touched.
Okay.
Like if a man, like last night, he was just rubbing my stomach, and I was in heaven. I was knocked the fuck out as soon as he started rubbing my stomach. I'm like a dog. You scratch my head, you rub my tummy, you rub my back. I'm happy. I'm good.
I don't think you should compare yourself to a dog.
I be doing
Well-
that shit too. I say I'm like a dog. Scratch my head in the right area.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Sorry.
Guys are animals. What about you?
What was the question?
What are the conversations did you have with your partner before you guys started dating, or anybody you talk to? What are the conversations are you having?
I
You
mean,
said boundaries, and she said they like to see common interests like anime and other things.
everything under the sun. I'm a very transparent individual. I'm gonna tell them how I like to be dated, what I like to do, and while I'm dating, how I go about showing affection, my love language, and I want to know all those things about them as well, just so I know that this is actually someone I want to be in a relationship with, or if I want to put them in a roster position.
What standard do you hold them to? And I know.
Well, the number one first standard is body count, and then after that, it's their character,
What kind of character does this woman needs to have to be with you?
patience. They need to be modest. I don't expect them to be humble. I think women are confident by default because they're wanted by a lot of people, which makes sense. So I want her to be confident in herself and her beauty. And then after that, I look at small shit like, is her fingernails dirty? Is her teeth white? Does she got any blemishes that I don't like? And then after that, then it comes like ass, tits, sex.
Okay. What about you? What standard do you hold the man that you want to be with?
I think their personality to. I think I hold their personality like to them. I like to ask questions about how they see the world and how they perceive people, how they would treat somebody. Because in the long run, I want to know who I'm like actually dealing with.
Okay. Would you be judging that? Would you be looking at that person or every action that they commit?
No, like you know, like how somebody can be like really nice to you, but for some reason, like let's say you're at a diner and they're rude to the waitress, or they're just rude to help in general.
So basically, like the character of the person that you're with is very important.
Yes.
Okay. What about you?
I'm kind of the same way. Like, you have to, because I work retail. I've worked retail since I was 18, and I've been treated. I've had the clients. I've had the people that are just rude as hell. If you're gonna be like that, I don't want to be with you. Because if you're willing to act like that to a complete stranger, how are you gonna treat me? And I think your actions, like, yes, everybody has a bad day. Everybody, like, even me, sometimes I snap at people when I don't mean to, but it happens. Shit happens. But if you're like that on a consistent basis, it's not okay to just treat random people like that. And then, like, you have to respect my boundaries. Like, um, especially in the bedroom, because there's certain things I do not like and I'm not okay with, and I will start having flashbacks, and I will freak the fuck out. So you have to respect that. My ex, when I told him no, he kept going.
Okay. So then, what standard do you hold yourself with, when talking to somebody? Like, would you tell this man that this is how I am? Like, I know that there are some girls that say things I like to do. I like to cook for my man, do this. But like, let's say he noticed that either one night you didn't clean or one night you didn't cook. Is he wrong for holding you to whatever standard you said that you are? Or does that based on if you're tired or not?
It's based on if I'm tired or not. Like, if I'm extremely tired, I'm not gonna feel like cooking. Or if I don't get off of work till like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm not getting home till 9:30, 10 o'clock, yeah, I'm not gonna cook. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. So, like, now if I go 3 months and I'm not getting off of work late every single night and I'm not cooking, that's one thing. But, like, yeah, I will cook for you, but I like to have dinner around like 5, 6 o'clock. I don't want to have dinner at 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And I'm not going to get off at night, work at 9 o'clock, come be home by 9:30, and then make dinner. Like, it's.
So what does the standard change depending on how tired you are? I'm not saying like only for cooking. I'm saying if you tell the man that you're with that I do this and this is the kind of person that I am, and he's pointing out that you're not acting the way you said, is it okay for him to break up with you? If
you need to have a conversation with me first.
Okay.
Like, because I get tired very easily, so sometimes I need to like lay down and take a nap before I do something. But I will eventually go do it. I just might need to take a nap first. So if you're gonna be like, oh well, you're napping, not doing this, it's like I'm gonna do that. I need a nap first because I'm literally gonna like fall asleep driving if I do go do this.
Okay.
I have a condition where I tire out very easily, and I do need to take naps, and I need to pace myself sometimes. So, like, if you have a conversation with me about it, I will talk to you calmly. Now, if you come at me yelling and screaming, it ain't gonna be okay. Like, excuse me, why the fuck are you coming at me like that? Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But if you come to me calmly and you have a conversation with me about something that is bothering you, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that bothered you. I will try to fix it, or I'll explain why I'm doing something the way I'm doing it because I need to. And a lot of times, if I explain what I'm doing and the reasons behind why I'm doing it, they'll be, oh, okay, that makes sense. You're fine. It doesn't bother me anymore. I've had that, but I've also had where, oh, you're not doing this. You're just, fucking lazy. You're a selfish, self-centered, bitch. Okay, you're gonna come at me like that? Get the fuck out.
Okay. What about you? What's is it okay for a man that you're with to hold you to the standard that you said you were? Like if you say that you're gonna do this and he sees that you're not doing it, should he break up with you?
Um, I don't know, cause I'm very like direct. I love to cook, so like when it comes to cooking, if I'm not cooking, like she said, it's because I'm tired, and I would say that in the beginning. And
No, I'm saying like I use cooking as an example. I'm just saying like if you set a standard, like you say, babe, I'm gonna do this all the time, and this is the kind of stuff I like to do.
right,
Is it acceptable if you become tired and he says, I don't care about this excuse of you being tired? Should he be able to break up with you based off you not holding yourself to the standard you said you were? Like, just some girl that say you're gonna get sex every night,
right.
you're gonna get a home cooked meal, you'll always come home to a clean house. I'm always gonna be peaceful. I am gonna listen to you. Like, if you say that these things are gonna happen in your relationship and you don't do them, how many times should he accept you not doing it before he's able to break up with you?
I mean, honestly, that would be up to him. I guess it would be in his eyes of how important that was to him.
Honestly, if it's a consistent thing where you're consistently not doing it, that's one thing. And
Is it like I'm saying like, is it a number? Because I know there's a lot
it's
of
not
times
really a
someone
number.
don't like you to do something. Like there are times where people say they've been in this relationship, it was toxic, but they thugged it out and stayed with this person for this particular amount of years, time, months, or anything. What is the appropriate amount not to accept someone doing something to you in a relationship? Because there's some things that's not intentional, but your partner could be looking at it as being intentional because the amount of times you've done it, even if it wasn't back to back, it could have been you did it Monday, then you did it Friday, then you did it next week Friday.
I mean, after they've spoken to you about it, I feel like 2 or 3 times really. I would say the second time would be enough.
But talk to, like, for me, I'm a big communicator. If you communicate to me that you don't like something, you might have to remind me a few times because I am forgetful. But I will try not to do something that bothers you that much.
Okay, with you being forgetful and you knowing that you're forgetful, and even if he knows the same thing, do you think it's appropriate or the right thing to do for you to either write it down or take a note or mark it somewhere so you're not able to forget? Because what if he gives you the argument, okay, babe, like, I know you're forgetful, you're constantly not doing this, you blame it on your memory, but I can't take this anymore. Is he right to break up?
Write it down.
Is he right for breaking up with you even though with your forgetful mind?
I mean, depending on what it is. Like, if it's, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
I mean, some people say it's the principle, even if it's something like really small. It could be a situation where you both are taking showers and you say, "Babe, come on, like I see like hair there." Like, is that like petty from the breakup with you because you left hair in your bathroom and didn't clean up or was stuck in a drain?
You should clean up the hair. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to go clean up the hair, and then I get distracted, and I'll completely forget about it until I walk back in the bathroom. If you walk in the bathroom before me and see it, be like, hey, you forgot, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll make sure I get it next time. Like,
if it happens 3 times, should he be able to break up with you, or should he, or would it be wrong?
I mean, if 3 times consecutively, yes.
Okay.
If it's not consecutively, like
what if you do it Monday? Like what if you do it like the example I said, Monday, Wednesday, and then next Friday?
I mean, say something to me, but if you really, like, hair is just disgusting to you and you can't handle it, then I mean, I shed worse than a fucking husky. So, like, yeah, if you can't handle the hair, then you probably shouldn't be with me at that point.
Okay.
But I try to clean up after myself. Like,
What about you? Do you think it's wrong for your partner to hold you to the standard that you set for yourself? If you say, "All right, babe, this is what I'm gonna do in this relationship," and she see that you don't do it, even if it's not consistently, and she's right or she's fucked up, to break up with you because you broke your consistent.
Um,
Sissy.
I would say it's different for everything. I mean, on both sides, really. I mean, it really depends on what you're talking about. Like, if it's cheating, it's one time. If it's here in a drain,
Do you get like infinite amount of time, 10 times,
yeah,
20
for some of
times?
them, like the here in a drain thing, three times in the past 2 weeks doesn't seem like a big deal to me. Oh, I had to remind her 3 times. It's not that big of a deal. As long as she knows that's a issue of mine and she's going about cleaning it, and she has sometimes she's forgetful. That's okay in my book.
You don't think
But
it could
if
be
it's something serious like cheating or talking to other dudes or texting other people or posting provocative photos, now I'm like, okay, you're crossing a big boundary. I think there's levels to it. There's
yeah,
small boundaries, there's big boundaries. If I tell you clean the room every day when you mess it up, but there's like a day or two you was too tired to clean and I have to do it, I just think that's a normal relationship. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold cleaning the room, not cleaning the room 3 times out of 2 weeks. I'm not holding that against you. That means literally almost 80 to 90% of the time the room was clean. I had to clean it 3 times. I don't think that's a big deal. I think that would make me lazy as fuck if I found that to be a big deal.
Okay, so would the person be wrong if they say, "Come on, based on principle, how many times we gotta constantly keep happening?" Because sometimes it doesn't even be. It could be a situation where you could be doing other things to your partner, and then there's something very small that you've done consistent amount of times. They say, "You know what, fuck, I can't be with you no more."
I
And
don't.
then
I
is
don't.
they right? Are they right for doing something like that?
I don't think they're necessarily wrong because everybody has their own boundaries and preferences. But I would say they're being unrealistic. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. They're being very unrealistic and they're probably going to end up single. They're probably going to end up single. I think it's pretty average for a person to be too tired to do something a day. It's pretty average for a person to forget to do something a day. It's pretty average. Like that's just average human behavior.
But what level of being able to forget and not do X, Y, and Z?
I don't think there's levels. I think there's standards. For instance, there's big boundaries and there's small boundaries. That's just how I look at it. Like if you do something that's one of my uncrossables, you don't get a second chance. You do something that isn't one of my uncrossable, but just something that slightly inconveniences me in a way that I don't like, I'm not going to hold it against you that bad. Evidently, before you was here, I was able to do it on my own. So
Yeah.
why would I hold it against you? I was able to keep my room clean on my own when you wasn't here. So you didn't clean it 3 times out the week. I was able to keep my drain clean on my own when you wasn't here. You didn't clean the drain 3 times out of 2 weeks. I just don't see the big deal in that. I think someone that sees a big deal in those small things are going to end up single. Because 99% of people have the tendency to forget or be too tired to do something. I mean, if someone tells you that, if 10 people told you that they clean their room every single day while holding a full-time job, they're lying. 9 out of 10 of them do that. They're lying. You pick 10 random people in the street like, do all y'all clean your room every single day with a full-time job of working at least 40 hours a week? And if they all say yes, they're lying. Maybe one or two, statistically speaking, they're lying. Maybe one or two of them. It's like saying it's like 1 in 5 people have this or 1 in 5 people have that. It's just improbable for you to run into 10 people that are that picky about being clean. It's just improbable.
So if communication is so big in relationships and it seems to always be some kind of downfall and everybody know and like he said, no one's perfect, how much of a lack of communication are you able to accept to continue to be with a person that you're with? Because it seems like everyone here, you all agree with the whole communication, and if it's small or depending on the boundary that was crossed, what kind of grace you'll give to this person. What amount of communication can they not have that's acceptable? Like, is it babe, I told you I was gonna come straight home, but they didn't tell you. All right, babe, I stopped at the store, or I went to my friend's house. Like, is that wrong, or does this person need to know anything in your every move, as if they're your parent?
I wouldn't say to that extreme. I would say like, because people are different and some people worry and like genuinely worry, and like I feel like you could give an update. Like, I know I said I was gonna go to the store, but I ended up stopping at da da da.
What if it's quick? What if it was quick? Because I know everybody got more.
If it was quick, then there's no need to bring it up. But if you're like genuinely there for like 15-20 minutes, at least say something.
Okay. How do you feel about it?
This was a big issue with my ex. I would try to tell him my feelings and how I feel about some of the things that he says and does, and he would just brush it off like, "Oh, you can't take a fucking joke," or "You are just, you can't deal with things. You need to get thicker skin." And it's like, no, like you need to. I need to be able to talk to you about how I'm feeling and have you actually listen and take that into consideration, not just brush it off like I'm being dramatic or I'm too emotional or whatever the fuck you want to say. Like, you need to actually listen to me. And, like, I'm the kind of person, like, if I'm texting someone and I have to get a shower, I'll be like, hey, I might not answer for a minute. I'm in the shower, but I'll answer you when I get out.
Okay.
I'm just that kind of person because, like, if someone does that to me and someone just randomly stops answering, I'm like, oh God, what the fuck is wrong? Like, are they okay? Did I do something wrong? Like, because I've been put down 90% of my life. Like, oh, you're not good enough. Oh, you're annoying. Oh, you talk too much. Oh, you do this, you do that. And it's like, okay, did I do something wrong to piss you off? Or, do you just not want to talk to me anymore, or are you okay? Did you get hit by a fucking bus or something? Like, I don't know. So I tend to kind of overshare like that, and some people find it a little odd, but I'll be like, hey, I'm getting a shower, I might not be able to talk to you for a minute, but I'll text you as soon as I get out or whatever, or I'm at work, I'll talk to you when I get off, I'm off at this time or whatever. So, like, with my ex, I would, I hit traffic on the way home. I'm going to be home a little bit later. By the end of that relationship, he wouldn't even bother to call me or anything unless I was like 4 hours late. And he didn't really seem to give a fuck. He's like, where are you? He would act like my dad. And I'm like, you're not my fucking dad. Even my dad didn't do that fucking shit.
Okay. What about you? How much, How much of communication, or how much a lack of communication is acceptable in a relationship? She said if you're 15 minutes or 20 minutes, it's okay to give them heads up, and then she was saying the whole how important your feelings are.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, it's very important. Communication is key to every relationship. You should be getting constant updates. I mean, if you're going to be a teacher, I think you should just send a text and let your partner know. I mean, we live in the 21st century. Phones exist.
Okay.
Pull your phone up, like 90% of the people do when they're at a red light. Text your girl like, I'm stopping at my mom's house quick. Go there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't see any issues in doing stuff like that.
No.
Even in sending locations, like I don't see like, she's like, okay, send me your location. I just want to make sure you're safe. Send her your location once you get to your mom's house. I don't see problems with that. I think the only people that see problems with that are people that do shit that they're not supposed to do. You know, like I said, I'm stopping at my mom's house. I don't care. Here's my location. Okay. Just let me stop at my mom's house and leave me alone. Here you go. If it makes you feel more secure, I don't see why you wouldn't concede and do that for your partner to make them feel more secure rather than making them feel insecure. So that when you come home, there's an argument. Like, just give them your location or just let them know. If they're a person that needs location, just give them the location. If they're a person that needs updates, just send them a quick text. I'm stopping at my mom's house. I'll be home. Who knows when, but I'm going to stop at my mom's house. She said she wants to see you.
Okay.
For me, like, if I'm driving and you text me, I'm not going to answer unless I stop somewhere or something.
Okay.
I don't touch my phone. Now, I have the hands-free thing, so, like, I can accept phone calls, But if I'm driving and you text me, I'm not gonna answer you until I get to either where I'm going or I stop somewhere and I'm parked.
That's what I'm saying. 21st century, we got CarPlay. All the lanes. Give them a call. Where are you at? Click the green button. I'm going to my mom's house. Okay. Let me know when you get there and text me when you're on your way back. All right, I will.
All right. How much reassurance do you think your partner needs until it becomes either annoying or seen as disrespect? Like if they're constantly never feel like you love them, never feel like maybe you didn't touch them enough. Do you think they're asking for too much, or they should already know how you feel about them based off the time you guys been together and the things you do for them?
And they're constantly watching your every move. Like, not, I wouldn't say who you talk to, but like what you talk about with whoever that's maybe your friend, where you're going, how long you've been out, um, what you're doing at work, constantly wanting to be on the phone, just constantly wanting to be just on you all the time. I feel like that's overbearing and very disrespectful.
How do you guys feel about that? Do you think being on your partner too much is
Yes,
overbearing?
it can be like I'll send you updates. I try to keep you in the loop. I'm a person that likes to be informed, but it there is a point where it's like, oh, what are you talking about? Like if I have a friend named Emily, and it's just me and her, and we're talking about guys we find attractive. Oh well, what were you talking about with Emily? Like you were talking about other guys. I'm not dead. Like I'm gonna find other guys attractive, but I come home to you every night. If I didn't like you that much, I wouldn't come home to you every fucking night. Like, it and like my ex, if I didn't tell him, oh, I'm going to Anita's house, and I would spend all day with Anita, and he comes home and I'm not there, and he doesn't know where I'm at. He's like, well, why are you over there playing with Anita? He makes it sound like I'm a kid that went over to play with my friend and they're just never came the fuck home. Like, that's not okay. Don't talk to me like that. I'm a grown ass woman. If I want to go hang out with my friend and she's okay with me hanging out all fucking day, I can do that.
Okay. How do you feel based off their answers as far as the reassurance? Like,
Well, I don't agree with what she just said. Like, if like, I agree with part of it, but not full of it. Like, if I say don't text other dudes or talk about how attractive other dudes are, I expect you not to do it. But
I mean, just between like me and my friend, I wouldn't talk to you about it. But like, if my friend says, "Oh, he's hot. I want to, date him," and she's single, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, he's cute. Go for it."
okay, yeah, that's different. Yeah, I thought you was talking about like y'all just had like a list of dudes. It was like, let's go through all of them and see who's attractive, who's not. I'm like,
no.
There's no purpose to doing that. But like, if your friend comes up to you, he's like, "Hey, yo, bro, you think she's bad?" I don't think there's nothing wrong with you saying, "Yeah, she's bad, bro. You should go for that," because you're still being loyal. It's not like you're going to go for it. But yeah, so never mind. Then I do agree with what she said. But I'd say when it comes to the reassurance question, um, I'd say 3 consecutive days in a row. After that, it's an issue.
why?
People are going to need to be reassured throughout their whole entire life, regardless. That's just human nature. But if it's 3 days in a row of me telling you I love you and you tell me I don't, then that means you got a mental issue. There's something you got to figure out with inside your brain. You wasn't healthy enough to date yet. You got mental health issue. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's an extreme one, but maybe your trust hasn't came back yet from your prior relationship. Or maybe the way you're supposed to go about dating, you never found out the proper way to go about dating. You think flirting with other people is okay in relationships because of all your prior relationships. Like there's something you have to unlearn before you come to me. Because obviously my reassurances aren't enough for you. Like I'm proving to you that I love you, and you're telling me I don't 3 days in a row. But like if she needs reassured that I love her every now and then, that makes sense. And I should be doing that anyway through grand acts of romantic gestures. Like I should be surprising her with stuff. Should be buying her gifts, earrings, watches, whatever her aspiration is. She wants to sit and cuddle. I know my girl's love language. She likes to sit and talk. So like on certain days, normally it's on Sunday, we'll sit there, we'll talk for like 3-4 hours without any TV, maybe some music in the background, something like that. maybe a drink or two. We'll just sit there and chop the shit. She'll pick my brain, I'll pick her brain. So it's like it really just depends on like the consistency of the reassurance, in my opinion. Like if you ain't already getting proved by my actions that I care about you, I think it's okay for me to have to actually say it more than 3 days in a row. And not say like I love you, because obviously you should be saying that to your partner on a consistent basis. But just like really having to drill it in your head that I care for you or that you're attractive or this, that, and the third. Like you got something that's lowering your self-esteem and your confidence to the point where you wasn't necessarily prepared to be in a relationship in the first place.
Do you guys agree with that? You think saying "I love you" 3 times a week is acceptable, or do you?
No, I just said saying I love you. You should be saying that consistently. I'm saying like
Okay.
having to prove it, like having to like really drill it in their head that you care. Like the person, basically like the individual where you'll say I love you, and they're like, no, you don't love me. You don't love me. I do love you. No, you don't. No, you don't. What do you mean? I do this, this, and this for you. I know, but I just feel like you don't love me. Like they're not giving you any rational reason why they're feeling this way. They're
What if they
just
say that I feel like you didn't do
insecure.
this, you didn't do this, you didn't do that?
And that's different. You're not performing up to their standards. So now you got a decision to make. Are you going to perform up to their standard or are you going to have to leave that person?
How do you guys feel about that?
I would have to agree. Insecurity is can run rampant. It's all about like, are you secure in your relationship? And if you're not, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship.
What's the one way for the person to feel secure about their relationship?
Yo.
Well, you can only prove yourself so much. You can only prove your loyalty so much. To a certain point, it's whether that's enough for them.
Oh shit, I ain't even peep. Appreciate the 1,400 likes on TikTok. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw the comments.
I always like to let the supporters know I appreciate them. Okay, so what about you? You ain't been getting an answer. Like how many times is enough for you? Do you need it once? Do you need it every single day? Like
I mean, I say I love you a lot. Like
okay.
every time I get off the phone with somebody that I love, I say I love you because I don't want the last person, like the last words I could possibly say to them to be, bye or see you later. Like I love you. Like I want to confirm that, and I want that to be if that's the last time I ever speak to you, that's what I want you to know. So I say I love you a lot. You don't have to say it all the time to me, but if I say I love you, at least say I love you too, or something of the sort. And it doesn't have to be all like I can be very insecure on certain days. Like sometimes things happen to me at work and it just makes me feel very insecure. And I come home and I'm like, I want a fucking hug. Give me a hug. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and my ex he's like, the fuck do you need a hug for? Because I want a fucking hug. Like, I'm sorry, I can't have a hug because I'm affectionate. Like, okay. I'm very affectionate when I'm in a relationship. Like, I want to cuddle, I want to touch you, I want to, hug, I want to kiss, like, just lay on the fucking couch and watch a movie. Like, I'm very touchy.
Okay. How do you guys feel? Do you guys believe that a relationship is a test that you should consistently have the answers to and be able to pass? And when I mean a test, I mean like if you know the person that you are in a relationship with, shouldn't you be able to figure out and know how to do particular things for them to feel like I guess more of a woman or that you love them? There are some girls that feel like maybe you gotta post me. Maybe you have a certain love language like gifting or showing love, like you were saying, affection. Some girls feel like different things. So like, do you think it's you guys' responsibility if you are dealing with someone to consistently show them how much they mean to you, and I'm saying not just with action words, like what are ways other than the common things? Like there are some guys that say, you don't think I love you? Look at all the things I do for you. You said, oh, you don't think I love you or you think I like you? I'm coming home to you every night. Do you think these kind of things are enough? Paying bills and just coming home every day, are those enough things for this person to feel like, okay, this person loves me, this person likes me?
It depends on the person, honestly, with me. Like, some people need more than just me coming home to you every night. some people are fine with that. Like everybody's different. Everybody has a different level of how they feel appreciated and how they feel seen. So, and some days I want hugs and stuff, and other days I don't want you to fucking touch me. Like it just depends on my mood and what's going on as far as like outside of the relationship. Like when I'm at work and I'm tired of talking to people, I don't necessarily want to come home and talk to you. I just want to sit there and be left alone for a little bit for me to decompress from work before you come at me and be like, hey, do this.
So within that happening, right? Let's just say, with this test in this relationship, should you always get 100, or you okay to like fail? Since you said sometimes you come home from work and you say, "Man, I'm going to talk to you. Let me settle in first, then you can talk." Like, is this a test you should always pass, or there are things you're finding for one that you could say, "No, I'm not doing it today."
I mean, I'm not a tester. I don't test my partner.
No, I'm saying, like, let's say, babe, like, I know you're tired today, but like, I really want to do this. Is it okay for you to just say, "Come on, babe, I'm tired. I can't do it today"? Is that's okay?
That's okay. I mean, now if it's every single time you ask them to do something and they're like, "No," that's what happened with my ex. I'd be like, "Hey, let's do this. I'm too tired. I don't want to do that." Or, I suggest, another day when he actually has off of work and he should have the energy. Hey, let's go do this. I don't want to.
Okay.
So, like, it became a consistent thing where it didn't matter what I suggested unless it had to do with fucking cars. He didn't want to do it.
Okay. What about you? Do you think being in a relationship is a test that you should consistently be able to pass? Like, if your partner wants something from you, is it okay for you to always make sure they're getting this? Or is there some things you can like, nah, I'm not doing it?
I feel like it comes with like your comfortability. If you're not comfortable with it, then maybe like there's something else you can do instead. But if you are, there's no problem or issue. I feel as though you should make sure you can do it as often as possible, but not strain yourself out over it.
Okay. What about you? Do you think it's acceptable for a relationship to be looked as a test that you have all the answers to and you are capable of passing it? Is it okay if sometimes you get this answer wrong or you don't get this wrong? Because we are human, like you said, nobody's perfect. There are things you could possibly forget. We know there are things that you shouldn't forget, like birthdays, other things like that. But is it acceptable for you to be like, "Dang, man, I forgot," or "Man, I'm tired," or "Man, I can't do this today," or I just couldn't do it"? Is it acceptable for you to be able to say those things?
Yeah, I feel like it's completely acceptable for a relationship to be like a test. Like I think it's completely acceptable for a relationship to be a test where all the questions are graded with different points. Like no cheating, 10 points. Not forgetting something, 2 points. Like I feel like it's okay, and I feel like having a 50% passing rate is pretty valid. Get 50% of the questions right, or you don't.
How do you guys feel about that? If a man's able to do half of the work, if he's half-assed and shit, is that acceptable?
Depends on what it is.
No, if he's half-assing. Like he
I
can
ain't
do
gonna
everything
that.
halfway. You said 50%.
Yeah, I said everything's graded on a different point level.
Okay.
So he ain't half-assing everything. He's
So-
half-assing the things that are less points,
All right.
and he's full-assing the things that are more points.
All right. He's a faithful man. He don't pay bills. He can't afford it, but he can make sure
He
you
pays
eat
most
food.
of them. He pays most of them. He pays at least half or more.
He pays half the bills. He don't cheat, but he don't give a fuck how you feel. Well, he feels he cares about you. He cares.
What I'm saying.
He cares how you feel sometimes. Like let's say you cry. Let's say you crying about somebody dying. He cares, but you cry because somebody mistreated you at work, and he say, "Come on, like you got tough skin."
Nah, I'll say it's more like you crying. You cry in that situation, it's okay too. But if you cry because one of the Kim Kardashians died, I'm not really caring that much.
So he
Or
should.
your favorite character in the show. Oh, I like that character so much. He's dead. I'm like, that sucks, babe. It's a TV show. What the fuck I care for?
How do you guys feel about that? like I said, half-ass and shit.
I feel like it can sort of be workable, maybe.
For me, it really just it kind of depends on what it is. Like
Okay, would you got okay if this guy was able to do everything for you, but there are times he cries or there are some times where he complains to you too much without doing it. He just wants to vent. But he's able to do most of the stuff. He's loyal, he's faithful.
I mean, I bet. So if I'm allowed to bet, yeah. I mean, everybody cries. And a man that is willing to cry in front of me, I see that as a very strong man because men are taught from a very early age it's not okay for you to cry. So if you're comfortable crying in front of me and being that vulnerable in front of me, you're a stronger person than what most men are, and I actually value that more.
Sometimes, just not all the time.
Not all the time. No, if you cry like at the drop of a fucking hat, you're just a bitch at that point.
Wow.
But like if you know you get I can be very emotional, and sometimes like when I get pissed off I will start to cry. Like I will have tears running down my face while I'm screaming at you, threatening to kill you. That's just how I am. So like but and I will get sad over certain things and I will cry, but I don't cry all the time. I don't cry over essentially spilt milk. Like if I spilt the milk, I'm not gonna sit there and cry over it.
Okay.
Like, but if my favorite character dies in a show and I was really attached to that character and I don't think they should have died, yeah, I'm probably gonna cry over it for 20 minutes.
Should your partner just like look over that? Or should
Yeah.
he comfort you about, babe, like, this is just a show, it's fake. Maybe the character will bring him back.
Like maybe they'll bring him back, or if
So
you
you
just
should
don't
so,
wanna.
so should he lie to you? Is
No,
that
no. If you genuinely don't care, just be like, hey, it's just a show, or just let me do my thing.
okay.
If you just let me do my thing and just leave me alone, and you don't want to have any parts of it because to you it's just a fucking TV show, like just let me do my thing. I'll get over it. I'll be okay, and we can go back to whatever it was. But now, like when my dad died, I was a fucking wreck, and I needed someone to tell me like it's gonna be okay, hug me, hold me, he's in a better place, he's not in pain anymore, whatever is going on, because I was in the process of rebuilding my relationship with my dad. I had a very bad relationship with him. I was in the process of rebuilding it, and then he died, and it was very sudden. It wasn't expected, and I freaked the fuck out when I found out. Like I freaked the fuck out. I was crying. I was in the middle of the driveway. The neighbors thought I was being murdered. I was very, very upset. And then I went to a state of shock for a while, and I seemed okay, but I really wasn't. And then I went back to bawling my eyes out because something reminded me of him. So, you need to be understanding in that respect. But again, if I'm crying because my favorite character died in a TV show, and you don't see it as big of a deal as I do because I get attached to TV characters, just don't be condescending. Don't be mean. Just let me do my thing. Let me get it out, and I'll be okay after that. I'm not gonna cry for 2 weeks because a character died.
Okay.
But I'm gonna cry for a couple months because my dad died.
All right. So, with social media and a lot of people, as far as dating apps and all these other different things, it seems more and more people don't want to be in relationships. People don't want to get married. They don't want to do these things that's going to keep two people together. With all that, with everyone, knowing these things, do you think a better position is to be married, or there's nothing wrong with being a baby mom? Because there's different things that different people have. So do you think people are just too picky, afraid of commitment, or is it a situation where people just go with the flow when things happen, people make mistakes, we're all young?
I think people change. I think after such a long time, they're not who they were, and a lot of people just can't accept that.
for me, it's like I want to eventually get married, but I want to make sure that I can live with you before I get married to you. Like,
Okay.
I want to live with you for a good couple of years fully on our own to make sure that we're not going to kill each other within 3 months before we go and get married and have all that bullshit going on. So, like, and I wouldn't have kids until after I was married, and I'm sure that this is a person that I can live with and work with and want to have kids with.
Okay. What about you?
I'd say, what's the question again?
I'm saying like with everyone knowing everything that's happening as far as like dating sites, people afraid of commitment, there are more baby mamas than wives. Do you think people are afraid of commitment? They just pick bad, they're picky, they was young and dumb, or like they were saying, people change.
Um, Wait, I don't understand the question. Can you rephrase it?
So basically with everyone like it seems like people will rather be in a situationship, friends with benefits, or not really be too with this person. Like you'll have a lot of women say, okay, we can have sex, we can do this, we can do everything that is a relationship, but with no title. But I still want you to act like we have this title. Do you think people are afraid of commitment? They don't want to get embarrassed, or they don't mind the risk of being a single mom or having these things happen? Like, what is
Yeah,
stopping these things from happening?
I remember the question. The question was, would you rather be married or is
Yeah.
it okay to be a baby mom? All
Yeah,
right.
like what is the why it's one more acceptable and one is more shamed? Like a lot of like she was saying,
Yeah.
she was saying she want to get married one day, but she has to have this amount of time with this person. Do you think it's better for someone to wait or from the fully go full blown with these other things? Because
I think
you'll see a baby shower before you see a wedding.
I think the playing field kind of changed. Like, so it's really important to get to know the person first before you decide on marriage. Like 50 years ago, it was okay to marry someone on the spot or after a couple of months because everybody was looking for the same thing. But with social media, the internet, the boom of the 21st century, um, different ideologies, different ways about going about dating in the first place or building relationships, the playing field really changed. You really got to understand what that person wants. Like, we do shame people being more sexually liberated in today's age, but we don't shame it nowhere near to the extent that our parents did or our grandparents did. So I really just think it depends. Some people out there just want sex. Some people out there just want to have like super cool experiences and shit like that, going on multiple trips with rich men. Everybody got their own little thing. I think it's really just boils down to understanding what that person wants in the first place.
Okay.
Like, my grandmother, she never dated anybody else, only my grandfather, and married him. So, like, when it comes to, like, getting broken up with, she doesn't understand that. Like, you can't talk to her about getting broken up with because she never had that happen to her. She only ever dated my grandfather. She got married to him. They've been together for 55 years now. Like,
Okay.
so she's never had a boyfriend that broke up with her. She's never been heartbroken. She
Yeah.
doesn't understand, like, my mom or me or my cousins, like, getting our heart broken. So, and again, she is a she's a boomer. So, like, yeah, there's that. But at the same time, like, if she had a boyfriend and got heartbroken, she would be more willing to understand and talk to us about when we get our heart broken by a boy. But because she never had that, she doesn't understand.
Okay. So, do you think? Okay. Okay. It seems. Do you guys? Can we all agree that like this situationship is more this new gen stuff since our grandparents, at least they lived in a time when marriage was heavily pushed. But it seems like I'll say both genders do it too. Like you'll hear guys, or both men and women will say, "Don't get married young. Have your fun. Do this." Do you guys think that is healthy advice? Because it seems to bring it seems to either bring sometimes either more kids or less kids, or people who had more sexual partners than actual serious relationships. Who do you think is to blame for that? If our grandparents were getting married, and then maybe our parents was like that last generation to get real married, but then it seems like our generation pushed away marriage, but they won't mind getting pregnant by this guy they just met, this guy they know for a little bit, but the relationship doesn't go anywhere. The relationship is younger than their actual kid.
I
Who
think
pushes that more, or who's the reason behind that?
I don't know what the reason is, but I'm the kind of person I will practice. Like I have an IUD, so I don't get pregnant. And if I feel that you're trying to get me pregnant, no fucking way. Like it's not gonna happen. I'm not ready for kids. I'm not financially stable enough to have kids, and I'm not gonna put myself in a situation like I'm already in a bad situation. I'm not gonna put myself in a worse one. So like if you're trying to push me to have kids and I'm not ready, it ain't gonna work. Like I'm very careful about that. I take steps to make sure I don't get pregnant. I use condoms. I do whatever I feel I need to do to prevent myself from having kids before I'm ready.
What about you? Who do you think is responsible for our parents and our grandparents pushing marriage, but when it came to our generation, it seemed like marriage is looked at as a bad thing. Like people are more open to have kids with someone, but marrying seems too far. Or I have to know this person for a long period of time, but I can get married within 3 months.
I don't think anybody's to blame. I feel as though marriage itself is all part of the government and all that bullshit to make money. I don't think the government really needs to be in your business about marriage. I feel like that's more like a soul kind of bondage type of deal, and you should keep it between yourself, your partner, your family, and your friends and close loved ones. But at the end of the day, I feel as though like marriage is just as big as having a kid, and just as though like as they were getting married back in the day, it's kind of the same, but you're having a whole kid. But marriages back then also led to whole families. So
So, with that being said, do you think it's better to not get married and just have kids with somebody that maybe the relationship works, maybe the relationship doesn't work? Because you'll use like even if you watch certain movies, you'll hear stuff like, okay, I'll just say the girl name is Sarah. Okay, Sarah, like make sure when you meet this man, make sure he has a good paying job, he treats you well. It seemed more like our great grandparents tried to court their daughters, or their fathers tried to court their son to make sure that their legacy, this woman that they're getting pregnant, was good to their family. But now it's so as like, go have your fun, girl. Like, why would you want to get married? You're young. You're in your 20s. Like, you have this like don't go into your whole phase. Why is this seem more acceptable when marriage and stuff is pushed away? Even if you do want to include like the government and all these other things, like why is it more okay to be sexually liberal rather than try to build a family? Because I thought every woman wanted a princess life like Disney Channel movies.
because at the end of the day, when you have a child with a man, you are tied to that man until that child turns 18, and if not even older. Um, and even if, when they are adult, everything that happens in their life, every big thing that happens, you're going to see that man for the rest of your life, whether you want to or not. And if you're not choosing somebody that you think you're okay with being with around 24/7, then you could be making a huge mistake.
What about you?
Any question again?
With like it seemed like our grandparents or great grandparents, marriage was saw as a good thing, but now you'll hear a lot of women tell other women, even if they are married, there are a lot of women or men. There are some men they'll tell the younger generation, I know I'm married and I know I have a family, but you shouldn't do what I do. And or they'll say, okay, like you're young, have your fun, don't do it too early. Come on, girl, this is your college years. Like you're around all these men that's about to either go to NBA, NFL, or any of these major sport places, or eventually to become rich or become bigger for themselves. Why is that pushed more when marriage and families are looked down on, or not even as whole? Because I know everyone in here, you either met a single mom or even a single dad.
I think a lot of that comes from women's suffrage. Like, we can't, with two people being paid in the workforce, we can't necessarily afford to give people the lifestyles they had in our grandparents' age. Like, our grandparents, the dad could go work at a factory, he could provide for the whole house, and they'll still be able to do 2 vacations a year, own a property, all these different things that got changed over the years due to the distribution of money, inflation. So I think it really just boils down to the fact that it's pushed less these days because less people are capable of keeping their women entertained for the long run. Like, they can't offer their women all the pretty things that they see on the internet on a day-to-day basis. I think women's suffrage works, but it doesn't work in a hyper communication world where a woman can constantly see what the better life looks like. Because it puts that woman in a position where she got to really decide, do I want to enjoy life or do I want a safe life? And most women are going to pick the enjoyment life because people want to have experiences in their life. They would much rather pick the rich dude that's only going to fuck them for a couple months so that they can go to Dubai, Hawaii, all these different locations that they would never be able to see with the average man anymore because the average man doesn't make enough money to be able to do those things for his woman. I do think marriage should be pushed more in the media, but I do think it's also very important to vet men for women as well these days because not a lot of men have the capabilities to provide for a woman anymore. It's kind of like the whole adage, it's like we went back in the dark ages. In the dark ages, really, royalty was the only people that could give women prosperous life. And now it's like we switched back to the dark ages where it's like only the royalty of society can give a woman a life they can genuinely be happy with. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, yeah, having a kid, having stability, having all the bills paid, food on the table is cool and all. But if your life is all work and no play, you're not going to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're able to handle all your responsibilities, but you don't get to have fun as adults ever. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the real big issues when it comes to marriages today is that you make this long-term commitment, but there's not much enjoyment in that life. It's just all about providing for a family back back in the dark ages when a poor family got together. It was all about running the farm. There wasn't no other stuff. It was all about making sure the family business stood above water long enough so that everybody would be able to eat, have safety, have shelter, and all that good stuff. It's like we went back in the dark ages. So I think that's why the media pushes the other lifestyle a little bit more because they know that now that's going to be the most happy lifestyle for the average individual. And having a happy, distracted society is crucial to running a society. Because if everybody in your society isn't happy, you're just going to have revolts.
Okay.
That's the whole reason the Coliseum exists and all these distractions today exist and all the distractions back then exist. Is to keep the people that don't have enough money to actually enjoy life as it is distracted. So they make all these fake human um distractions so that the people at the bottom don't say, damn, I really would enjoy sitting in a field of flowers more than this. It's to distract them. I'd rather just, okay, then I can't sit in a field of flowers off in a exotic area. I'm gonna just watch a TV show where someone does it. Now I'm living vicariously through them. It's the whole reason streamers are so popular. Everybody wants the streamer life, but not everybody can afford it.
Okay. My final question would be okay then with everyone knowing the information that we have as far as what ends relationships, what can make relationships happy, what works, what doesn't work, do you think who is more to blame why the society is the way it is? Not and I'm not saying not just because men control the world or whatever, or men have power or whatever. Do you think it's more on men not being able to court the proper women or playing with too many women's feelings, hearts, or just not taking them serious? Or you think women are not holding themselves to a high enough standard to know, like, okay, this guy, he doesn't have a good job, but he has good dick, he's eliminated.
Mm.
Who's more responsible or what what should both sides do to make the family come back and all this toxic stuff disappear?
Honestly,
Even if they can't disappear 100%,
I mean, you're not going to be able to get rid of all of it, but I think a lot of it comes down to the social media. Honestly, I think because back when you could get married, you didn't have the influence of the social media. You didn't have the pressure from
different celebrities and seeing different
like the ideal image for a woman, especially in America, is skinny, big butt, big tits. Like that's what every woman feels, and we're taught that from a young age. It feels like if you're not all of that, you're not worth anything. So, and I've always gone against the grain, but at one point, yes, when I weighed 120 pounds, I used to think I was fat.
You weighed how much?
120.
It's not that big.
And I'm 5'6". So, but I also have the sense of mind that when I got up to 230 with my ex, then I really was overweight, and 120, I would have loved to get back to that. So, it's a very much social media and celebrity pressures and the way things are sensationalized. It puts pressure not only men but women as well, and it's especially prominent for women because if you're not this, and this, you don't amount to anything. And it's a lot of social pressure, and I think that's what's causing is if you don't meet those standards, you don't feel adequate enough. So your standards then your self esteem lowers, your standards lower, and you'll just take kind of anything you can get, and that's not always the healthiest thing.
So then, do you think we should just delete social media, or should we?
It's not delete social media, but like social media should not be one of the top things. So like, as far as like what's important, social media should be on the bottom of the list. Like, it should be, does he have a good personality? Is he stable? Is he good to me? How does he treat me? You know, am I attracted to him? All of these other things should come before what you see in social media. And a lot of people, they see what's on social media, that's what they want, and they expect to get it. And when they go out, they don't get it or they don't meet the social media expectations. So they think that what they can get, if they meet those expectations, they can't attain because they don't meet them.
Okay. How do you feel about with everyone knowing all the things that we know, who do you think is more to blame for the way relationships and family and kids is looked at? Do you think men need to stop wasting all these women time, stop not being serious, or do you believe women should hold themselves more in a higher regard so they're not just sleeping with any man, letting all these men take them on dates, using the wrong kind of man, or picking the wrong kind of man? Who do you think is more to blame, and how can we fix it?
I think it goes both ways. I feel as though women, in a way, aren't holding ourselves to a higher regard, and I feel it's just past trauma. We feel as though we get something good, and we aren't gonna find anything better, and then that good turns into bad, and then better turns to be in the future. It's all about experience, but men also need to be able to commit. Like, don't step into a relationship if you know you can't commit. But that also goes for women as well.
Okay.
What about you? I would say it's probably boils down to like if you had to pick a gender, it would probably be women more, just because they're 80% of the consumer base, and social media, like she was saying, does a lot to dilute women. It makes them think they have to be a certain way, act a certain way, chase after a certain thing. It makes people feel like they have more options than they actually do because now it's not all about who's the best option in my hometown or who's a good option in my hometown. Now it's who's a good option in the whole entire world. Yeah, I could pick this guy, but then there's Joshua in Idaho who makes twice this person's living and is just like him. Only thing I got to do is move to Idaho. Then you find out that the grass ain't greener on the other side, or isn't always greener on the other side. Um, I would say that's really where most of it comes from. And the only reason that it's mainly on the women's ball court is because women decide who gets to be with them. They have all the power when it comes to choosing. So instead of a lot of times, instead of just settling down with that good person in their hometown that's been liking them since high school, they'll 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 execute their options. So they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try dude out in Idaho. I'm gonna try dude out in San Francisco. I'm gonna do some things in Hawaii. Then once I realized that all these guys were bad options anyway, I'm gonna go back to the guy in my hometown and say, you know what, you can have me now. And I feel like that's where a lot of women run into trouble because at that point, that guy feels like, well, you spent all this time chasing all these other things that I told you probably wouldn't have been the proper direction to take yourself in the first place. And now you're what you want to give me a try after you just made me wait all this time.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's where a lot of the issues come from, social media and its influence on women. And then for men, I would say social media puts that pressure on them that they have to fake a life to actually get that sort of women because now since all these women are deluded into wanting something that's not necessarily conducive to a successful relationship, now they're expressing on social media how they want all these things, which makes men think because through the dawn of all time, men adapt to women. If a man, that's why 50 years ago, if a man didn't marry you, he wouldn't be having sex with you because all women came together, or let's say 100 years ago. Let's put it a little further back. Because 50 years ago was around the 80s and 70s, and things were starting to change then. 100 years ago, all women came to the consensus if I don't have a ring, you're not having sex with me. Now, of course, there was always the stragglers, the 10%, the women that were in brothels and in strip clubs that sell themselves as prostitutes. But there was a bigger majority out there saying you had to marry me first. Now all women are saying you just have to hit a certain conditioned bracket to have sex with me. You gotta be cool enough. You have enough game. You gotta be tall enough. You have to have big enough dick. You have to have enough money. Now there's all these other different fields where it's like, okay, as a guy, if you want to get the primary thing you want for a woman, which for men it always starts at sex because of our biological urges, then you're going to pick the easiest category where you can get sex. Okay, I'm rich. I'll just go to the money category. I'm tall. I'll just go to the tall category. You know what I'm saying? And these men get to exercise these shallow things to get sex from women because women allow it. Now, if all women came back together and was like, no, you got to be a good man to have sex with me again, men will change. They'd be like, okay, we're going to start being good men. And the men that there'll be basically three tiers of men if everything switched. There'll be the men that are actually good men. There'll be the men that are willing to pretend to get vagina, so they'll pretend to be a good man. So you'll be under the delusion you're with a good man, so technically you would have a good man. And then there's the men that are bad at pretending they'll be good men, which you also be able to pick them out the crowd super easily because y'all changed the standard so drastically that they would be so noticeable. But since y'all have all these different standards, you can be a bad guy with money now. You know what I'm saying? You can be a bad guy that's tall now. You can be a bad guy that's good looking now. You know what I'm saying? It's not about your character as a man anymore. It's about your attributes. So I can be a bad guy and be tall. I can be a bad guy and be handsome. Okay. So I think that's where a lot of your trouble came from. It's social media and its influence on women to make them feel like they have all these options that they really don't because men lie. The biggest majority of men are pretenders to get what they want. And then,
Hence, I'm 31 and I'm still single.
yeah, a lot of men will pretend. The biggest group out of the men, there's like the 10-20% of men that are actually good men, 10-20% of men that are actually horrible men, and then there's the big majority in the middle that are pretenders. They're like, I'm gonna act like I'm a good man, or I'm gonna act like I'm a cool guy, or I'm gonna act like I have a lot of money just to get vagina. So it's all about how social media condition people into thinking how they have to act to actually date. And since women are the biggest consumer base, they're targeted the most out of all of them. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's their fault. If it boiled down to it's their fault because they're letting it influence them. But if I had to really pick something and it wasn't a gender, I would say social media too.
Okay. Well, that concludes the podcast. Do you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns? Or you guys want to announce you guys in social media? We have about probably 3,000 people that like the video or the TikTok. So you guys did good, man. You guys could put a pat on your back. You guys
Thank you for talking.
I'm shocked. I appreciate everybody that watched, that loved it, that supported it. But yeah, that you guys can like answer that. I ain't gonna cut you guys off. If you have any like questions, like anything you want to get on
Comments, concerns,
social media,
feedback,
if you want to like
things you
drop.
think we should change. No.
Oh.
No.
No, actually.